Into 2020 Vision Radio.
From Queen City, Nevis, 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 Nevis.
Hi, I'm Sister C of 2020 Vision Radio. Vision Radio is a non-profit making online radio station. All staff working to serve you, the listening and viewing public. As we serve, we also see the need to serve those who are not technically savvy, especially the elderly, the shut-ins, and persons with disabilities, to which end we are looking forward to take 2020 Vision to another level, of course, with your generous assistance of taking 2020 Vision Radio to the airwaves on the FM frequency. Go to our GoFundMe page, 2020 Vision Radio, and make a donation of which you can afford. Help us to help everyone in this quest. Thank you for what you're about to donate as we look forward to serving you online and in the not-too-distant future on 2020 Vision FM.
I'm here saying for us to represent for the Nevis Everything Agriculture Show. Big up Bankie, DJ X-Way. You know, so tune in, and if you're on the internet, zoom in. One love, from Nevis, everything, agriculture, show. Listen to man, ain't no place like home. Me no know about you.
It's Everything Agriculture with Bankie and Company, your weekly educational agriculture show on 2020 Vision Radio. Tune in every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. for us to learn, share, and grow together. Call in on WhatsApp at 1-869-669-7312. Using Digicel, call 766-7312, and our landline number is 469-7953. You can call us on the overseas line at 917-460-2187. From farming to livestock to fishing to agro-processing, we talk everything agriculture.
Our farmers and fishermen are our unsung heroes. It's time we honor them in our calypsos. We take them for granted, their sterling contribution. So I come to give them their due recognition. To these ordinary heroes, to them I must tip me hat. Not those who suck in the country and living off the fat. From sun up till sundown, they keep working tirelessly, building this land from the bottom up for the great love of their...
Yes, good evening and welcome to Everything Agriculture. All right, I'm your host, Bankie, and my co-host over there, smiling as usual. I wonder what him smiling so. X-Ray, you okay with me? All right, my boy DJ X-Ray. And over there in the studio, we have some lovely guests. As usual, we keep it both male and female. Agriculture is not something that is gender biased. This evening, we'll be talking about... Yes, give me a minute, Dave. Make sure everything is straight. This evening, we'll be talking about backyard farming. Using small space and stuff like that, and showing you that, no space is too small and no space is too big. You can hear me good, Mal? Okay, cool. Once they can hear me good, I guess I'll work with that. So, I must apologize for the late start, but as usual, it's my fault. I must say, I ain't gonna blame anybody else. I'll take all the wrong. Usually, every time on the road, somebody want to have a conversation about something, but this. So I had to run and let them know I got to leave, so we'll continue the conversation back. And I must apologize for last week. We had some little hiccups, so at the same time, hope you all enjoyed the rerun, but I guess some people didn't know. It was a rerun. Everything went so smoothly. They go in studio X-Ray. You understand? Yeah, man, it's so weird. But we couldn't call. So it was in studio. It was a rerun, but I guess they enjoyed the show and it was a beautiful thing. So good evening to the people in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Also, I must shout out, those my good friends over there in St. Vincent. For what's going on with the volcano. We here in St. Kitts and Nevis do have the same thing. We have volcanic island the same. So we two gotta really watch and pray and make sure we don't have that car. Believe me, if this volcano have to start up, me not moving no more. Me ain't moving no. So it better not me not move go away. So me ain't married nobody who want to leave the island. In most shot in the late 90s in St. Vincent. I know almost how it is, but I don't think I want to move because if I move, the only time to come back on my own island, I might have to get a vaccine. So I stay put. So say good evening to those listening, in the diaspora as far as Africa. Those in Costa Rica must big up Heidi and those young students doing the agriculture studies down there. Also those in Trinidad, the farmers over there who listen, Antigua, those all the US, far as also Asia, Taiwan, and those in the UK who have a big listening audience up there. 2020 Vision Radio have a very large listening audience. Also those in Canada and those throughout the Caribbean, I must say. And good evening if it's your first time listener. I hope you continue to listen. And remember, Everything Agriculture is an educational show where we want to promote everything agriculture, even in the fishing industry, the poultry industry, small or large ruminants, and also crop. Also agro-processing, even if you're into the timber industry, into building houses, you're into vehicles, whatever it is, everything is agriculture when it comes to whatever you do. Agriculture revolves around everything, but we tend not to look at it. Those in the supermarkets, if you go inside there, it's processed food. It may come from a plant product or something like that, or animal product. Okay, there's only two sources you can get your food from. It's plant-based or animal-based, unless you're going to eat. We're going to eat dot. Concrete. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it shows in these times here, it's been over a year now, where we had a global shutdown. And if anyone had asked me, man, the world going to shut down. I can recall when the news over the years been saying we need to at least walk and park up our vehicles or stay home just for one day, and that would put a big footprint in the environment itself, when it comes to the ozone layer and the pollution, that everything that happened on Earth, they're not blaming the animals more or less, the human behavior. You know what I'm saying? So, well, the world been shut down over a whole year. So my estimate is that, I don't know to say, well, I guess the problem solved. Nobody talking about it. That's the thing about it. So it shows that, it depends on what the agenda is. But right now, a lot of people are suffering, and our task is, agriculture is one of those industries that can help you release some stress. It can help you put some money in your pocket. And the reason why I want to keep this show here is to encourage people to start planting. No matter how small the space is, the little technical difficulty. Good there? All right. No matter how small the space is, even this room here, look at this room, you can say 10 by 12. Can plant a lot of food in this room here. Right? I guess because these three people here, we have Samuel James, my guest, your first time here, right? Yes. Welcome, much appreciated. And a short notice. I don't know how I get the, and then over here I have my good friend next to Sam here, Kenneth, right? Kenneth Libod. And over here, you have to forgive me, I call this young lady name over and over, Miss Sargent, but you'll tell me it's Miss Thompson. But so you'll have to forgive me. But my listeners and viewers will tell you I keep calling your name. Because I give you a story when I was in second farm. My teacher, she take me out the class and brought me from the staff room to read. I said, look at this. Because in bio school, when reading, we tend to say zo and this. And then she said, no, I in bio school, I don't know, I can't type properly. So she brought me from the staff room and she taught me to pronounce the letters properly, the and this. And believe me, it had made a big impact on my life. From that day on, I never spoke like that again. I practice with the pronunciation. Put that, your teeth and your tongue, and I'm telling you, Miss Sergeant. You see, I gotta get it. That's what I know. I can't help it. It's just respect. You know what I'm saying? I'll come back to you last. But I'm telling you, I've been calling you extra vote for it, and the listeners. Because I have so much teachers that looked out for me. I can call Chesley Manners, Miss I call her Tootie's wife, and I call her Miss Simon. Tootie's who does sell chicken outside Best Buy there, his wife. I know Miss Simon. I don't know Tootie's last name, so I can't. It's weird. Well, she will also have to forgive me. You understand? So it's Miss Simon, also Miss Nisbet. She is now what, Miss LeBlanc. LeBlanc. Yeah, but I still call him by. Beautiful maths teacher, that, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Okay. Miss Powell.
She would have taught me too, so.
She taught you maths?
Yeah.
All right, then. Good. Yes, I had beautiful teachers, but male, female had made a lasting impression on my life, and when I always show appreciation in a sense. Like, they're not just teach you, they basically look out for you and raised us in a sense. And for my sergeant to pull me out of a class and have me from the staff room. When I look down there, see all these teachers are looking at me and we're going on here. And me have to really know. And I say, look at this. But that also helped build my confidence. And then from that on, I keep practice and look where I'm at today. And now I'm interviewing her. So, I mean, who would ever think this would ever happen? You just don't know the future is going to come with an X-ray.
Yep.
So, as I say, well, this evening, I mean, I really want to emphasize on small space and encourage those who already been planting to keep it up and encourage your neighbor also to do the same thing. And those who ain't started, as I say, start with what you like to eat. And even if it's just a challenge, just you plant one plant. I don't care even if it's an herbs you buy and you stick it in a pot. And if you don't water it and you take care of it, it's not going to go. So it shows you have to have some kind of time management and you really have to have that into because it don't make no sense you're not working and I guess you're not getting a severance check or whatever the situation is at the time being going on. Because a lot is going on right now. So that decision have to make. Don't make no sense sit down, continue stress, whereas you can get out the house and go into your, don't say you don't have no big yard, because you don't really need a big space, as I said. You can plant on your porch, put some pots on your step, get some topsoil, some manure, dung, mix it up, and that's just good enough. Okay? Yep. So, and that's the challenge. I mean, earlier, Chinoson challenge, actually, didn't we Chinoson challenge, I mean, to our listeners to plant one plant and see who got the best, but I'm not sure if anybody started as yet.
Nobody. We did that very early on in the show.
In the show, right? Well, I'm still trying out the challenge because it shows, and let me say it right now, ain't nothing named Green Thumb. Okay? Let me show that out the door right away. Because I started hearing this over and over, buy, make plants may not go on the dead and one of my boyfriend have green thumb, my wife have green thumb, me plant, so me daughter plant this because she, I said, no, it's not that. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing wrong? Tell me how much time you watering? I water in the morning. I said, really? And that's it? So how much time you drink water throughout the day? Well, I drink water all the time. I said, good. So it's the same you take care of the plant. And then you mulch and keep, you know what I mean, cover the soil itself. Where it's in a pot, you use some grass is preferred, leaves, and anything like that. All that will be break back down and also change the structure of the soil, improve drainage and stuff, things like that. So here we have 3 homeowners here. We have a young lady, as I said, Miss Sergeant, Miss Sergeant, work with me, please.
No, you work with me.
Actually, we work with everybody up inside here, right?
You're not going to get in, you're not going to squeeze.
But you have to work with me. Okay, so I'll start with Mull, and then I'll go across to Sam, and then I'll come back across. All right. So, Mull, you've been here before. I mean, I think you're probably one of our second guests.
Yeah.
I think so. You and Mike?
Mike was here.
Yes, well, a beautiful show. Been a long time.
A long time.
That was last year.
Yeah, it had been last year.
I don't even remember.
There's so much shows we have done. And you know, last month had made 6 months since we've been on the year. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So this is the 7th month. I ain't even counting. Cause a matter of fact, my birthday went. How old I be right now? Stop. After that, I'm like a long time.
42.
No, boy, more than that. You have answered upon that. 44. Yeah, I made 44 this month. I mean, when was that? The 7th? But I don't even know. You know, I stopped count. So Mull, backyard farming. Actually, you know, you have some pictures there for us, right?
Oh, you ready?
You look for one in
The one when you're holding them in your hand?
Not those. Those are someone.
Okay. Then.
The others, like with the raised beds and stuff like that. All right, you okay with me? You okay with me?
When you're ready.
Okay. So Mull, I mean, welcome to everything agriculture. I mean, as I said, right now this is your second time. As we say, you're not a stranger. You're family now. So, which one is that?
Oh, damn.
That's Miss Sergeant right there. That's a teacher. Have you worked with the teacher? Just turn on the phone. If anything, if you have to take the call, you can excuse yourself. Mull, tell my audience, I mean, what get you into farming? Because being around you for a while, you was talking about, boy, is there time, boy, I remember when my father built a little room and full it up with yam from bottom to top. 10 cents a pound. I saying 10 cents a pound. I mean, but I look at the number, boy, no, 10 cents, boy, you're going to add up. You know what I mean? Back then, can you tell me from the whole, when you open the door, everything will drop out from floor to roof. I say, 10 cents a pound. Still, at least, he whipping in a whole heap of money, and then still, you have a lot of, your father had a lot of animals and stuff like that. So, tell your the listening audience, the viewers, I mean, what really gets you, because before, I mean, I know you have a lot of flowers in your yard. You wasn't doing a lot of farming like that in a sense. And then something triggered it, and then it's like, I know, you become the holy grail of backyard. So everything you kept workshop with me, and you know what I mean, very wonderful thing, and you're encouraging people and stuff like that. So tell the viewers who you are and why and when did you get into backyard farming and any other farming experience you developed over the years prior to getting into backyard farming.
Well, good night, everybody. And well, my name is Kenneth Leiber. Everybody know me as Mall.
Yes.
Like Bankie said, I'm a backyard gardener. I grew up doing farming, with my parents. But, I always tell people if my preferred line of farming would have been livestock.
Yes.
But soon the place getting like literally smaller. Well, not a lot smaller, but, the space.
Got you.
You can run animals like you used to.
True.
So then I fence my yard and I walk out. Man, listen to me. Just plant something.
Yes.
Like I said, my wife have some flowers,
Yeah.
And, I'm not a big fan of flowers.
I understand.
Hope she's listening.
I want you to be listening. Not hope.
I mean, but then, as you say, you can't eat flowers.
Definitely.
But
some,
the beauty for the
you can eat
place,
some. You
the
can,
beauty for the place too, eh?
Of course.
But then, we try plant. I think Floyd gave me a one day he came by the garage.
Yes.
And I said, what you have down there? And he said, listen, man, I could bring your child lettuce. He brought me the tree of lettuce. I planted. Came good. Make some money. I said, well, this thing could work.
As you're talking about lettuce there, I work with me. So this is one leaf of lettuce. Lettuce need more hand. My hand is big enough to hold this lettuce. And this is all. What is this?
A lettuce.
You sure this is a lettuce?
Lettuce. One lettuce.
For who? The giant, the giant on the jack and the beanstalk, the giant with the beanstalk.
And all I did was water it and manure.
And this is an iceberg lettuce, well curled. I mean, well shaped, like a cabbage. I just say, this is how iceberg lettuce should look like. Curve, soft, and nice, well put together. This is like tree lettuce.
Yeah.
Very beautiful lettuce. So it shows, as I come here, we can go food.
Yes.
We can go food. And if those who are in charge listen to us and give us a chance and invest in our people, we can do wonderful things. Export, feed our nation, and bring down the food import bill. And then we don't have to worry about COVID because people are healthy.
You know what I mean?
So this is what I'm pushing. Eat right, eat good. So continue, Mal. I just wanted the viewers to have a good look at this. I could not pass this. Okay, now let me make an example with you. Walk with me. Because you have a cabbage, right?
Yeah,
a cabbage there, right?
Yeah, it's kind of small. What?
No. I was showing you, right? You full. All right, and the cabbage and the lettuce. You can't even see the cabbage. You working with me, X-ray?
Let me see if I could.
What's the difference?
Zoom in,
Cabbage, lettuce.
All right. Hold them up.
What's the difference? Huh?
All right.
You will work with me, boy. Look at this lettuce, this cabbage. Wow. And this is what, you know what I mean, keep me doing this thing all the time to see the talent that, that is through the island of Nevis and stuff, and also in St. Kitts. How we grow stuff. And this is growing with our locally manure
and dirt.
And soil and water. And that's it.
Nothing else.
So why some people want to convince me we can go on a large scale in an organic way? I don't even know if God come down and tell me he could, I know we could go organic and get these things, all right? Yeah. So just wanted to show a prime example. I know you all know this is a very beautiful lettuce, okay? All right. Continue more.
Okay, and then, I started from there, and then, then the monkey started coming in, And then I went to Bankie, and I said, Bankie, the monkey coming into my yard. And Bankie said, well, there's no way you could do farming unless you get electrical fence.
Yes.
And I said, well, you is the man who know it. Recommend it. Which he did. I ordered it, put it up. And then after that, the soil is kind of hard. I'm being honest with you, the soil does get hard sometimes.
Yes.
And then I was watching House Channel one night. And I sit and talk about raised beds. And something went off in my head. And I say, something, okay, I could build some raised bed.
Okay, and this is a prime example as you're looking at. Go back do this with the box there. That's a prime example of raised bed. You can use stones You can use blocks if you have extra blocks and stuff like that, which I'll get to some. And it doesn't take nothing. It just to add some topsoil to bring up, instead of planting directly in the soil itself, you bring in some topsoil manure mix and raise it up. So that's why it's called a raised bed. Continue, Mal.
You know, and I just plant in the raised bed, you know. And then, you know, because it's much easier. It's much easier. And then I use the 2x6 first. At first, when I started, you know, and I just pull it up, talk to Lenoir, you know, Lenoir Taylor. He set me up at a good price, you know, he's my friend.
Definitely.
And I bring in my stuff and I just plant and take off from there. I mean, from about 5 to, I have about 40, you know.
From 5
43 raised bed.
to 43 raised
Some are
beds.
small, some are big, like from 4 feet to 24 feet.
Yes.
And some are like 2 by 3. But
X-ray, I wanted to go back from the beginning of the raised beds. Then we still some cabbage, and more I wanted to explain what the viewers are look. What you have there?
no, those are cauliflower.
Okay.
Those are cauliflower.
And I realize now you also expand and I see a drip line, you know.
Well, yeah, drip line is the way to go, you know, because
Yeah.
the water was taking up my time, you know.
Okay.
And, you know, he wasn't getting it to the root, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's much easier. Now I just go home and just turn on the drip line.
Definitely. So the only thing you need now is a timer. And we work with technology, you know. That's because if you're doing
over
smart
time, over
agriculture,
time.
you work with a timer. They're very inexpensive.
I think more like the fact that he got control, you know.
Of course.
Watch them and he turn on what you feel like.
You see, because I remember when he started, and then he grew. All this didn't happen overnight.
No.
You see, I can now you even have a little in the nursery, right?
I have a greenhouse, a small greenhouse.
Exactly.
5.5 by 7.5.
But it's efficient. So it's not
Yeah.
about size, and what you put in there is what you have
Well,
inside
right
there.
now I have a cranberry tree in there, a blueberry, a blackberry, and some kiwi trees.
Yes. Mol, all this cabbage here, I as in a yard, you know.
Yeah.
Because some say, tall man, I let go, just using manual soil. Explain what they're looking at.
You're looking at a bed there. That's about 5 feet by 14 feet there.
And how much plant is holding something like that?
70, because I do square foot gardening,
Okay.
which I split up, you know, the beds into
Of
square foot
course.
with a
Yes.
card.
Yes.
And you know, you go up on YouTube and you tell them they tell like 1 cabbage per square foot. So
Yes.
that's 70 cabbage right there.
That's a lot of cabbage.
Yeah.
And with all those cabbage, do you eat all, or do you get some of them sold? I mean,
Well, like I said, with my yard, I got
Yes.
three objectives. Put it in which order you want. I could sell something, I could eat something, and I could give it something.
definitely.
And that's it. That's my motto.
So, with a space like what you have there, what all do you plant?
Man.
Let me look at this. I'm looking at some cauliflower
Yes.
right there. And this cauliflower is very, very big head. Cauliflower is one of those crops you call cold crops, like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, even onion. And they're not easy to grow because they like cool climate. They don't like too much of heat. And then also, once the head start to form, it's important if you want to keep it nice and white. If you don't really pull up the leaves over it when it start to form, the sun will bleach it out, so it'll get kind of creamy. So once you start to form, you same with the broccoli. You get some rubber band and you bring the leaves up, and you lock it over, and that will give you some nice. But looking at it here, you cannot tell this cabbage was grown here. Those coming from overseas can't compete with compete. Definitely cannot compete. And those are beautiful, beautiful head. You understand? And it shows Nevis is a special place, you know.
Yeah.
No, me tell you not here. Let me tell you why. Yeah, because Jesus was born here. I know that. No, I know that. It is something. It's something special about this place. And then it is said that our coming from the long trip from, you know what I mean, the motherland, the first stop was right here. And the best was chosen and remained here. And the others was sent off other places. So it means Jesus was born here. I'm working with that. So Mol, tell me what I'm looking at right there again.
You're looking at it right now with some pots with some vine in it.
Pots.
Sweet potatoes there.
So-
And that's under a chalice there. The chalice are running a grape tree in it.
Yes.
So it's serving two purpose. So I put some matting at the bottom to keep down the weed.
Uh-huh.
And I get some huge pots.
Good, definitely.
And I plant some sweet potatoes in there. I think that's 18 pots there, and
Mhm.
I think about 38 sweet potato vine in them. Matter of fact, I just cut them off this afternoon for you,
Of course,
for
definitely.
the slip stem.
Yes. So it shows you can't say, oh, well, I dig up my yard. I mean, you can plant potatoes in pots.
Yeah.
Because really and truly, once the depth is there, you will get food. So it's just to change the myth where, oh, you can't plant in this and you can't plant in that. And you're going to, because I come by you one time and I said, well, what happened? You know, average potato? He said, well, I got potato head, you know? I said, come and show you something.
Oh, yeah.
Serious potato, right?
Yeah.
Of course, definitely. Because you will know the different signs. I mean, you'll see some flowering, and also you look at the signs where, especially if you know the variety, because there are 3 months variety, there's some variety will even come within 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And there are some that will come within 6 months, and some will come in when I guess when they want.
Yeah.
I really don't know. But it good to plant varieties that you know. And stick with those that you know, 3 months, mostly 3 months varieties, and they have some 5 months. But I recommend people stick with what they know. And if somebody give them a breed of vine, I was by a good friend of mine, Miss Bowen again, and she told me she get some vine from my teacher, Miss Thompson. I working with you. And then the first thing I was asking her, well, you know what kind of variety it is? And she was this one, came by you, I asked you. And then it's important to know the variety, where you get the variety, and the history of that vine. So at least when the time to harvest, you'll say, well, somebody told me it's 3 months, and then 4 months gone, 5 months gone, ain't nothing happening. Which means is really not what they say.
Yeah.
So what you have, and you have a 3 months vine, you stick with that. You always transplant, and so you keep preparation. You keep cuttings, and then when you share with somebody, you can come back and say, well, Bankie, I want the same vine that I gave you. So you're always rotating and giving different people. Because especially if it's raining a lot, you'll get a lot of foliage. And it's important to shave off, cut back off some of. Cut back off some. Otherwise, you get a lot of leaves, and then you won't even get no food on the day. So it's very important. Okay, continue, Molo.
Well, like I said, I mean, one point I want to make, right? You see,
yes,
those are not chalice, right? So you could have said, like you say, you don't have to dig up the soil. You could have, that could have been concrete.
True.
So some people say, well, I don't have no space. I have a patio. I have a concrete walkway. You could do that too.
Definitely.
And like you say, I just started, like I said, with about 5, and now I'm up to 43.
Yes.
And like I say, you ask me what I plant every and anything.
Like what? Give me an idea what you plant. I know you're planting, your yard basically is my yard, so I want the audience and the viewers to have an idea.
I mean, like I bring the time.
Let me see this time, because this is a nice time.
And he just set up the box there.
Whew. Neve is nice. This will cure anything, I think this is the cure for the vaccine, Actually, no, I'm serious. Because you see, all these are medicinal stuff, huh?
Well, some people think they can't get time grow. But
they tend to overwater it. I think that's one of the main problem. Underwater it.
And that's the local time, the original time.
Oh,
yes.
all right.
Yeah.
And that's real bunchy and nice. Very, very nice. Continue, Mol.
Like I said, I plant thyme, herbs, lettuce, cabbage, eggplant, sweet pepper, seasoned pepper, cauliflower, broccoli,
pineapple, carrots,
grape,
beets. How much lime you got now? How much citrus you have now?
Maybe about 50. I just planted 2 this week too anyway.
So what's up? 3. Papaya.
Oh, I can't count. Banana tree, planting tree. Right now I got about 4 planting trees out in my yard right now.
Different type of citrus trees. Not just when I say citrus.
Well, I got the orange. I got the shaddock.
Oh my gosh.
I got
yes.
I got the tangerine.
Yes.
I got the Maya lemon. I got the Taiwanese lime. I got the local lime.
Mol, what you got? An acre of land, 2 acres of land? To plant all these things?
I'm on a 1/4 acre of land.
Oh my God.
And the front of the yard is for my white flowers. And my house is on it.
You don't start to go to the front. Now the whole front now kind of move to the front.
No. I still ain't trespassing yet. Because we have a rule that, from the house go to the wall.
Next way, you walk yourself up, eh?
Yeah.
It's from the house to the fence. It's for her.
Okay.
And the house is not so small either. It's about 47 by 33. So,
yes.
And I plant on both sides and to the back.
Definitely.
So.
No, I mean.
And a 1/4 acre land. So not the whole 1/4 acre, the house on it and the front is flowers. And all the rest of it is mine.
So the thing about it for those who are listening, so so how this experience been? When it comes to time management, and does it worth it?
Oh yeah. You go out at mornings.
Yes.
And you go out at afternoons, and you do what you have to do.
Yes.
Like I said, the the water was taking up some time. So you spend. My mother used to say, right, you got to spend money to make money.
Definitely.
So I spend the money, put in the boxes,
Yeah.
buy the topsoil. Now I'm buying the drips them, you know, because I realized, like you see, you just talk about the cauliflower and the broccoli.
Definitely.
But what I think they come so good because that's when I put on the drip line on them first.
Of course. Yeah.
And after I put on the drip line on them, well, I just
Yeah, because I mean, when you have the drip there, the water goes straight to the. If you use a hose, you go, and once it start to grow, then the leaves, the water not gonna go right to the root zone. Even though you're wet, you sprinkle it, the leaves them is really wetting, but then they get the broad, in not really touching the medium. So and we've been talking about why more you gotta get the drip them, and you gotta get the drip.
That, I listen.
Actually, it's a lot of debate that I have to deal with. I mean, these backyard farmers and farmers because everything is a cost, and they know that. But my job is to pressure them because I know the outcome gonna be. They don't say, "But I should do it long time," you know. So most people look at the cost, but the cost is really worth it. You just shop around, and it's really worth it in a sense like that. So when he did listen, and then what we're looking at, but he got so much of box in the yard. Well, how are we going to start setting up them box here? Generally, when you have a drip system, then you just have an open field, more or less.
Yes,
and then you just pull them out.
Lanes, yeah.
But like with more yard now, you have to look, well, where you going to start from? Because his boxes all over. Then you have pads. The mole just planted everything. And that's what it's about, making farming fun. You're going to plant in tires. You're going to plant in the old, if you got old slap pail, pot.
Yeah. You can plant anything.
Plant it, old bad pan. You just recycle old fridge, you know what I mean, tubs. You just don't throw nothing. You go to the dump. I would like somebody to go collect all them old fridge and different stuff, those white waste, change it and just utilize them. You'll be amazed to see how much. Can you not even look at them as fridge no more? Because stuff will go so beautiful in them. You'll be amazed.
Yeah.
Okay, Molan, give you a break.
Okay.
Next to you is a good friend of mine out there, Samuel James. I mean, I also been to Sam Yar. And Sam is the next mistake man again. Sam don't utilize his space tight. I don't know how to use Sam. But let me tell you something. It's amazing when I come up with the tricks that they come up with. I don't even think about it sometimes. I go by Sam one day. And I say, but wait. These are blocks. I say, so lettuce, herbs. I said, no man, me talk from front to back, no, right round, we go round the roses, all round. I say, Sam, but you come are they here? And then as you're looking here, these are Sam lettuce again, well curved, big. I mean, and you could, as I say, look behind it, you see some blocks right there. You see the blocks them? You see, you can make up this stuff. The blocks in the picture. And what Sam did, Sam, you talk. I must say, I appreciate you coming to the shows on the last notice, and you didn't say no. I mean, what gets you involved in backyard gardening, and you utilize every space, and you also like more use a lot of manure, and make sure what you're growing is holistic and beautiful because your family have to eat the same way. Your children is involved as a family business and get their hand dirty. And what your yard is spick and span and clean. You can eat up. You can let down and go and sleep if you want to now. I mean, and this is an everyday thing. How I mean, so it shows the person when you enter the yard how the yard is kept and well manicured and no matter which angle. As you can see, all throughout the Sam yard. Which part you saying that? That's where Sam hang out the clothes, eh? That's the only space left in the Sam yard. Just like mall where you hang your clothes. Unless you get a dryer. I guess you're going to take out the clothes line, but that is for the wife to walk through and hang out the clothes. But in other space in the Sam yard or mall yard, only where the clothes line there. And you see a little space, right? So, Sam, as I said, I mean, what get you involved in farming and how long have you been doing this?
It's good evening, everyone. My name is Samuel James from Bad Village,
Yep.
Sam.
Pull the mic to you, Sam.
Well, I would have got this inclination from my mother.
Okay.
I would have seen in my younger years doing farming. I would have watched her, help her.
Okay.
And it's like it stick in the mind. So as I grow older and then start building a family,
Yes.
then there was a time when a septic tank was dig
Okay.
in our yard. And the back would have put the pile of terrace
True.
on the side. And one day I got some slips, some vine from Mike.
Okay.
And I just stick them in. I tell Mary I can just put them in
Yes.
and water them every day. and they start coming through real good. And when they matured, those potatoes were so big. I couldn't lift up with one hand. I
Wow.
had to use my two hands to take them up.
Wow.
And it was just a little scratch.
Yes.
And it just, so I told her, as you were saying earlier,
Yes.
that maybe I have green hands.
So you're working with the theory.
Yeah.
But you see what you did, you take care of them.
Yeah.
You see? You show the plant love, you water it, you pay attention to it, and the plant bear fruit.
And then so I said, well, okay, I'm going to continue doing this. I used to remember to do this.
Yes.
So we had a certain citrus fruits in the yards and, along the line. But then during that process, I started buying slips from agriculture in pots because
Okay.
I know we were preparing to move and build on the land that we had. So I was preparing. So I started getting my citrus fruits them together. So when I go over, then I could just go straight into it. 'Cause that was my intention, to go straight into farming. But we went over on the land, where the land is just an eighth of an acre.
An eighth of an acre.
Which is 5,440 something.
Yes. So about the half of mall property.
And the house is 29 feet wide, 50 feet long.
Yes.
And the land is 158 feet long. So
Okay.
to the front of my yard, we have 21 feet. And then
Yes.
to the back about maybe a little longer.
Yes.
So what I do, the size is just 4 feet and 5 feet.
Okay.
So I needed some space to do some farming. So what I did, I got some blocks. And the blocks would run on the both sides, straight up trying the soil. And then to the back, I'll do the same thing. And as you would have seen in the picture,
yes.
the space that is left is really for the clothesline and maybe for the children with a bike. That they could
Where they go the clothesline.
Clothesline, and they could still drive along the side of the house.
Yeah, between the blocks them.
Because the blocks, because the something.
Just push. You could continue speaking in the mic.
The blocks would be on both sides.
Yeah.
With a distance enough for the children to could ride a bike, and we could still walk around.
Yes, of course.
So I did that, and to the back, what I would have done is use. Not come through. No sound.
You can't hear yourself?
Oh, yeah, good now.
Okay, good.
So what I did, to the back, I recognized that I needed something more sturdy. I used to use a board, and they will rotten in quick time. So then I decided to extend the blocks to the back, and use the same try in the soil. And it's almost every plant I will put in the blocks.
Yes.
Okra, tomato, peppers, seasoned pepper, herbs, lettuce, everything.
I wanted to explain to the listener and the viewers when you say a plant in the blocks. Explain what you mean a plant in the blocks.
Okay, just how the blocks run when you're doing in the house.
Yes.
The whole section is done up.
Okay.
And I chose the soil inside.
Yes.
That
okay,
area.
so you fill the hole in the blocks with some. That's what you're planting.
Yes.
I got you.
And there's where I would have gotten lots of produce from those blocks.
That's I must commend you on that idea. That's the first time I see that idea, you know. That's a beautiful idea. You utilize those blocks. It's a very, very brilliant idea.
Because the space to the side of the house was so small.
Yes.
That if I were going to use board, I'd have to use a wider area.
I understand.
And then it would have taken up more space for the children from getting around. So I didn't want to deprive them really, because they're children, of their exercise and their pleasure.
Definitely.
Because they need to get around and whatnot. So that helped me in a good way. And there was a time when I counted using the blocks, trying the topsoil. I was able to have up to like 4,000 lettuce at one point.
Really?
In my backyard,
So
in my yard.
Wow.
I was supplying Rams and a couple of other places around Nevis. So I had some board also, but because they will keep rotting, I removed them and use the blocks entirely. So the blocks by itself helped me very good, because I wouldn't have to bother with replacing.
Of course, they'll last long.
Yeah,
of course. Of course.
And it's just now and again I would take over some of this soil and replace it with topsoil. What I do now, because where I live, I remember you gave me the idea that where I live, it was like a rock stone. I had a pitax.
Yes.
And when I dig, I just say clank. nothing happening.
True.
So you told me to dig the hole and get some topsoil and throw it in.
Of course.
And then plant there.
Yes. Did
so
it
you
help?
know, it helped, but I had to go and get soil from.
Of course, different type of soil.
All over.
Of course.
At that time, I just thought soil was soil. So
yes.
when I bring in the soil, that soil is end up the same hardness as. And then in my consultative model, he told me I have to add some manure.
Yes.
Soften it up, and you gave me the idea too.
Definitely.
And eventually, he also told me, well, person who's selling topsoil, mix with manure.
Definitely.
And that is the perfect way to go.
Yes.
So I would have done that. And I get a higher
yield
and
of
the
course.
height.
Yes.
So the root get more, to spread.
Yes.
So you find like my herbs and thyme and lettuce and everything I put in now.
Yes.
They just bloom.
Beautiful.
During the COVID, well, everything went. The yard was just there. Remember, I explained to you. Nothing was doing.
Of
but
course.
I try to keep certain things survive still, like some fruit trees. I have a mango tree, a coconut tree. I had a guava tree.
Papaya,
okra.
Like more, you have everything planned.
I'll keep them. I'll keep them.
Yes.
But my concern was I have those holes
Of course.
filled.
Yes.
And the COVID went like that and nothing was done until eventually I started getting again. So right now,
yes,
the backyard again is coming.
Bountiful.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Every black hole having something in it.
And you see the beautiful thing about this, I mean, you can see the smile on your face, which means I saying chi-ching.
Yeah.
Chi-ching. I mean, your mole smile, I see mole walking a big book out there. What is that? A Bible mole? Mole, hold up that book. I mean, what is that? Is that a Bible? What is that?
Just a record book.
Oh, record book. I'll get back to that book. I'm curious. So I'll come back to you. I'm going because ladies are last. I say when they come up inside 2020 Vision, and I must say, let me give out the telephone numbers. If anyone any tips, have any interest, to communicate with the guest in the house. The landline is 469-7953 and WhatsApp is 669-7312. And the overseas for those in diaspora are those even here who have their overseas number. WhatsApp is 1917-460-2187. So I'm going across, and let me must say, Miss Sergeant, you work with me. You work with me. My brother all the way from Virginia, Shan Kidding, my older brother said to show my favorite teacher in the world, much love and hugs and whatever. I know how he trying to compete with me like it's a jealousy thing. I understand that. He hear me speaking so much of you, I was suddenly jumping in.
No, man, Sean was my good partner.
All right then, so I'm working with that. You got to share. All right. I know you have touched a lot of people. Throughout your time. Being a teacher in the high school. And I sure what you did for me, you did for many others. Because that's the type of person you are. Very wonderful teacher. Good at your trade. And now you're back here with us. I can't wait to reach my time to retire and sit back and do what you do. Just like Maul, you call me all the time, which I don't mind. As I say, nag me. Nag me. The more you all plant, the more, you understand. That you all have that interest and you all can feed yourself. So, Miss Sergeant, you're okay with me. It's all good.
Good night, everyone.
Good. Welcome to Everything Agriculture. And what get you into backyard farming? And where does this thing come from?
All right. Sometime in the late 90s,
yes,
I started farming, and I farmed vegetables and fruit trees. And then I went abroad.
Okay.
For 18 years. And all the time that I was abroad, I knew I would do two things.
Yes.
I would come back home.
Of course.
And I would farm.
So it never leave you?
No.
Nice.
So the last 3-4 years that I spent abroad,
yes,
I did a lot of videos, watched a lot of videos on backyard farming,
okay,
raised beds, container planting, everything that would help me when I come home. But what I didn't have in mind was that I was 17, 18 years older.
Man, you're still young, stop going so. You look just as good as you're teaching in high school, isn't it? I'm more looking to testify to that, right?
Primary school.
Really?
And the physical part of it really is taking a toll on me.
Okay.
But it's enjoyable.
Well, that's the
It's
good thing about
enjoyable.
it.
So, right now, I started last year March when I came home,
Mm-hmm.
and I do raised beds.
Yes.
My cousin Sel, he set me off with some beds made from, what do you call those things? Those things that they give away that
Pallets?
Oh,
Palette.
palette. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
started me off with pallets. And then it was too much of a trouble for me to take the pallets apart and that
Of
kind of
course.
thing. So he took me down to TDC and we bought some damaged lumber.
Okay.
And he made some beds for me, and then I was running out of beds, and so I went myself and I bought some lumber. They all
Yes.
already cut, and I took them home and I made beds of my own. So I have beds made from lumber, beds made from blocks, the same blocks like how he
Yes.
has his.
Of course.
Made from stones, rocks,
Yes.
made from plant material, like trees that I cut
course,
down.
tree trunks, I
Yes,
realize,
I
yes.
use the
Mhm.
trunks and make and regular
Of course.
beds. And in them I plant lettuce. I plant mainly for myself
Good.
because I don't know if I could manage that big time farming that Sam and Kenneth.
No,
So I just plant mainly for
some animal. Because what you're doing basically the same thing, you know. Because your yard full up, you know. But you see, you're eating your stuff. You see what I
Yes.
mean? But
Yes.
your yard, I mean, what about the three of you? Your yard, you recycle a lot.
Mhm.
And that is very important for the environment. Because you have stuff in pots, in bins, and then if you cut down a tree, I realize you put the tree and then you do your raised beds and you take up your bush, other leaves,
Mhm.
and you incorporate all that. Which is-
Yes, I have beds. I have an old toilet bowl
Yes.
and a tank
Mhm.
that I've put stuff in. I
Yes.
got like the face basins.
Yes.
Yeah, I've used those.
Well, you're at that. So, X-ray, Mr. Adam have some nice tomatoes. The tomatoes in the toilet bowl. Would you have the tomato? Would you eat some of the tomatoes?
Well, because they go in the toilet.
Well, some
Because-
people say, well, that's what I'm asking, yeah.
Well, that ain't no problem.
Well, I'm just making sure. Because some people say, I mean, I don't need on a toilet. I'm just saying, because it's recycled. I hear that term before, you know.
Mhm.
Because I too will do the same thing. Because nothing is wrong with that.
All right.
It's instead of just throwing out, the commode, you just, it's a nice
Yeah, but
decor.
you use manure,
Yes.
so
Yes.
it doesn't really matter.
Well, you see, human feces is one of the better feces to use also, you know.
Yes, I've been reading a lot about
Okay.
human manure.
Yes, but people say, oh, I mean, on it, but it's because it's how we eat.
Yeah.
You see, when it breaks down, but you don't want to use the liquid form of it. You want to use when it's dry properly. Because you don't want to use the liquid with all the pathogens and bacteria. But when it's dry, 'cause all those who love dates, and Morocco is one of the biggest place that produce most of the grapes in the world. And in the great farm and stuff like that, they don't have working toilets and stuff. They have pit, where that's what we're gonna use. And when everything that they use that to all the date farms. Yes.
What you said, date or grapes?
Dates.
Dates. Okay.
Yes, they use that to fertilize
Fertilize.
the dates and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah, they say once you're healthy,
Yes.
the manure could be the human.
Definitely.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
So I plant stuff. Potato. I have cassava. I have. I had a lot of bok choy the other day.
Yes.
Beans and carrots, and I tend to do like successive planting.
Yes.
So what's not in my freezer
Mm-hmm.
is in the ground,
Good.
and now I eat only from my garden.
So, how would that make you feel knowing you're growing your own food, you're saving money, and you see what that smell X-ray? It's a cold up moment, you know. You see that the smell just stick there. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
It is a feeling of satisfaction.
Yes.
It
Okay.
really is a
But my
feeling.
older daughter was there saying, she remember when she had bought a power wheel when she was a young little girl, and once she outgrew that, I full it up a soil, the power wheel, those driving power wheel children to have.
Yeah.
and plant up with jumbo sticky thymes and herbs and all kind of stuff. Even her bicycle, I'll just put it there instead of throwing them away and let things run around them and all kind of stuff. So it's just like recycle.
Reusing.
Yes, but continue, Miss Thompson.
Thank you.
Yes. You can actually laugh out of me.
Right now, though, it is kind of challenging.
Yeah.
Because where I live is like the rain shadow area where it's very dry this time of the year.
You're in Mexico. You're in Israel. You're in the Sahara.
Yes.
Okay.
So, my cousin Cell, he came in and he helped me he installed a drip system for me.
Okay, yes.
And those went mainly to the fruit trees. I have over 80 something fruit trees in my yard.
So which means I'll assume you're on 5 acres?
No, I'm on a half-acre land.
So the small spaces you guys using up tight. Wow.
And I still have a lot of space. My problem is that I have lots of rocks.
Yeah.
And so even with the backhoe coming in, they weren't able to move the rocks because they were that big.
Yes.
So between the backhoe and myself, I was able to plant most of them.
Nice.
And yes, so I have 2 varieties of mulberry. I have something like maybe 4 tangerines, and I have like 6 oranges. I have 2 lemons. I have 3 local limes.
Yes.
I bought a grapefruit. I'm always done by Jermaine.
Yes.
I told my...
And that's Tropical Blossom, my cousin Jermaine there. I mean, just tell Jermaine.
He's my cousin too.
Your cousin too. Oh, we're family, because then you told me that you're looking out for me so much because we're family. You understand? Can I say, well, why me? Why you looking out for me like I saw in school? So, boy, you know, we're family. I said, really? When you're young, you don't even know what's going on. It's like, I mean, we don't drift it. It's just like, I mean, when I was young growing up, I mean, so we're going to buy Mama Lo to buy some ice before we had a fridge. You know what I mean? I said, okay, well, Mama Lo, the husband, Zumba. Me so young and stupid, me don't know Zumba is Mama Lo son. When this man, you don't know, I know. If you don't know, you don't know.
I just saw me too, so.
If you don't know, you don't know. Yeah. But continue.
So, as I was telling someone the other day, there was a time when I used to take my money and buy shoes and clothes and bags and that kind of thing. Now I take my money and buy fruit trees. So I'm always done by Tropical Blossom.
Yes.
And I buy what I like.
Yes.
I buy some of what my son in St. Thomas has in his land.
Okay.
There are a couple of fruit trees that I need, but German apparently is having challenges.
Finding sourcing them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I have some seedlings that I'm trying to raise here because I bought a 1/4 acre next to me.
Okay.
And I'm going to put an orchard there.
Fruit trees.
Fruit trees.
Beautiful thing. Well, looking for, I mean, I don't see it developing, you know. I see you picking that. You know, they're chilling and drinking some lemonade, whatever it is, just reason as usual. I see it happening easily. The only thing that you have to do when you're doing to set it up, as I was talking about.
Well, I'm going to put a drip system in it.
And?
I am going to order a fence, an electric, a solar panel.
Yes, definitely.
I'm definitely. And so when I do that, I'm going to fence the whole.
Everything one time,
yes,
of course.
Yeah,
definitely.
Both the half and the 1/4.
Of course.
I'm gonna
one of those solar fences go up to 30 to 40 miles, you know.
Yeah.
You can fence the whole block with all the whole all the neighbors, everything. If you yeah, they work very well. It's all about just make sure you keep off, you know what I mean, the twigs and stuff off of it. You don't have no issue.
Yes,
definitely.
But I have to clear both my land because before in the 90s when I started planting, I planted some of the trees too close to the fence.
Okay.
So I have some trees that need severely pruning. I really don't want to, cut them down.
Yeah.
So I might just severely prune them. And then there's some manchineel trees on the outside of my fence.
Yes.
I brought in the backhoe actually to remove some rocks in the area and the manchineel tree and the acacia tree.
Yes.
But the backhoe was taking too long to get the stones and the trees moved, and I saw my money dwindling away. And so I told him, stop.
Yes.
Come inside my yard and do
got
what
you.
I want you to
Of
do.
of course.
And then, I'll try to deal with that. So I have a saw
Okay.
that I don't know if I'm going to do it myself. My brother promised to help me.
Yes.
I don't know how I'm going to get it done, but I have a chainsaw that I want to use to get the place cleared.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started. You're retired.
Mm-hmm.
So from your get up, you're in your garden.
Mm-hmm.
You're home. You're always in your garden. I must say, find this most time.
Not past 10.
Yes.
I'm inside
That's your
until
chill
about
time.
3-4 o'clock.
Okay. So now you have moved and have a drip systems.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that transformation?
Oh, that makes my life so much easier.
Really?
So much easier.
And you're smiling too?
Of course. I don't have watering 80-something fruit trees.
Yes.
Plus something like 8 wooden raised beds and other beds.
I understand.
That was really taking the joy out of my gardening. So last year I went to St. Kitts and I bought some drips. Yes. And as I said, my cousin helped me to install them initially, and then today Mr. Jeffers.
Yeah, your extension officer in your area, Dijon.
Dijon
your extension
and
officer.
Mr. Reed came.
Steve
and
Reed.
helped me do the beds, my potato beds and my some of my bananas and the cassava and the carrots and so on.
So go ahead.
I think I can do some of it because there's some other fruit trees that need,
of course,
to be attached to the whole system.
Yes.
I think I can probably do the rest. If I can't, well, then I'll call them again.
But you see how it is being done. As you realize, it's nothing hard. Can you have different ways of setting it up? Because you use a sub main, you can just use the same drip lines, but you have to find different parts. They have parts to go along with it. You know, I mean, the T's, the L.
I think I have all that.
You're at a storehouse. Where you do a little thing and you have a, I say, oh wait, can you see what's plumbing going on here? That is what I like to see.
Because when I bought, the guys said that some of those things are sometimes they don't have them in stock.
Of course, definitely.
So I bought.
You can't always have to have extras.
Yes, and then I was projecting for the other piece of land.
Definitely, it's a beautiful thing. So the good thing about the drip line, instead of using the hose, you have a more efficient way of watering, where the drip line, every drip is precise. You go right to the root zone. Instead of you doing heavy watering, as I say, some people use the hose and just watering, but then you overwater. And then as you look by midday, you want to do where the water gone. So
and my water bill was getting kind of out of control for me.
Yes.
So I had to do something. A couple of times I forgot on the drip.
Okay.
And in one or two places, the line got separated from the submain.
Okay.
So the water was just
running.
flowing.
Okay.
Yes. So, but I've learned now to inspect.
That's the first thing. Once you turn on a drip system, you walk the line. The pressure fluctuates up and down. Because you know the water is not like you have on a water. What must say? A regulator. One of those pressure valve that regulate the water. That doesn't cost an next money again. But you don't have to. But one of the good things you can use, as I said, with the water, you don't have to come out, is a timer. And I'll get John Mull, you know what I mean, a timer where you can get a good timer. So you can set it and come on 3 times a day for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And if it's rain, then it wouldn't come on. Okay? It sends and stuff like that.
Over by me, it needs more than 5 minutes.
Yes, I'm just saying how you want to put it. Half an hour, 40, whatever you want to use. But you set it to your time, and when you want to come at 2 or 3 times at a certain time, for 7 days and you'll work fine. They'll eliminate you from. But once you come out, you walk the drip line from time to time. That's something you always have to do. And it's just a part of the monitoring in a term like that. Okay. So Molly was saying something.
Quick question. She was saying the water bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is like, I wonder if she don't have the agriculture meter.
Well, you have to get a next meter.
Yeah, but does you have that, Miss?
You have 1 meter for your backyard farm. If you get a next meter,
maybe need to apply for it.
Yes, if you put a next meter, you'll get a concession on that meter. Just use the extension officer come, and if you put. We didn't have the discussion before.
We spoke about it.
Yes, but it was a big deal to you. But it's always there in the field if you have to.
I'm going to look to see what it's like now that the drip system is in place.
Of course.
And I'll decide.
Well, by the time you expand on the next quarter acre, then you'll be using more water.
I think you should do it.
Really?
When you develop the next area, because you say you're going to develop a quarter acre into an orchard, you definitely might as well carry for farming, can apply for the meter there, and they'll make much a big difference. Yes, because you get up to the first 15,000 gallon. You understand? And then after that you get a different charge. So it'll be a big difference. It's important. It's all to you. And if you got quarter acre, you up with more doing commercial farming. So you're the big boys now. you understand? So it means you have a lot of fruit trees, and then you have much more stuff to harvest, which means you'll be selling stuff. Okay, also you have a jamun tree. Yeah, because whenever you tell me you don't make jam.
Yes, I've made jam in the past, but last year I made wine.
Wine.
And I made a kind of syrup and something else. And then I have I froze some. I gave away a whole heap. I do have jamun in my freezer still.
Explain what is jamun for those who are listening and are viewing who want to know what jamun. What is that?
Jamun, it's an Asian fruit, I think coming out of India or someplace like that. It is the fruit is purple. I think I'm hearing some people call it blueberries.
Similar blackcurrant. Some people call it different names. How it look?
Yeah.
Like
it
grape?
bunches like grapes.
Yes.
Similar to grapes, not exactly like grapes.
So you know it?
It has a
we not have this on the show.
The jamun.
It has a single fruit.
And somebody had it. So let her continue. There
yes.
Yes. When
Probably.
it's
bring it.
It tastes best when it's really dark purple and soft.
Yes.
If you eat it before that, it's kind of rocky. Yes, it ties up your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, but it could be very, very sweet. So, last year I had like blankets and so on spread under the fruit trees for them to fall on. But I had so many last year that flies started coming around, so I had to rake them up.
You have a big tree.
Yeah,
so
and
I
need to cut it back. I really need to cut it back severely. Yes, I make drink, and last year I really didn't want to get into the jam business.
Yes.
Because I got some wax apple from a cousin of mine, and I made sauce with them. And I dehydrated them. I kind of stewed them and then dehydrated them.
Okay.
Last year I have also a jamun, a jujube tree.
Okay. Explain what is a jujube, because you're using the scientific name now, you know. So give me the local one.
Dunk.
Give me the next one for the local poncerat.
Poncerat.
Yes, because you're going with the scientific name now as a scientist. And I want the whole local people to understand what you're talking about. Actually, no, we use Mr. Google one way. So you got to open the list of the audience.
So I have this tree, and the monkey, it's like the monkey's pavilion. They're always in that thing.
Yes.
And so I had to be fighting with the monkeys to get, because they weren't able to come into good. They didn't turn ripe. I don't like them when they're ripe.
Oh yeah.
But when they're ripe, when they're brown.
Yeah.
But when they're kind of yellowish, that's when they're yes.
Yeah.
So that's when I pick them, and then I wash them and give them a little stew
What do you mean stew?
in syrup. Boil them in syrup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I might put in sometimes when I'm stewing them, I put in some pepper. Sometimes I put in tarragon.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I put in ginger just to give it a different flavor.
Okay.
And then I put it in the dehydrator. And they come out tasting between prunes and date, yes. So, and then I can, put them in jars and
I like the taste.
thing them. Yeah, they're really nice. I also have a starfruit tree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that one, yes, I was fighting with the monkeys with that and that long-beaked bird.
Oh, you mean the mango? I call it the mango bird.
I don't know what it is.
A brown bird, long beak.
Yeah,
of course. So we call it the mango bird.
And so what I did last year, I just picked them. They were green, and I picked them.
Yeah.
And I cooked them. I cooked them with pork. I cooked them with beef. I pickled some and put them in the fridge. And those that were turning. I slice them or cut them and stew them and put them in the dehydrator. Some of them I just cut them up and freeze them.
So this is what the sweet carambola or the sour one?
No, the sweet one.
So you cook with it, with your beef and your pork or something. It's a new one. I didn't know people could cook with carambola and stuff.
Well,
like that.
I didn't know either. But the monkeys were not gonna get all my food.
So how was that?
It tasted nice, especially with the pork.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really nice.
I wonder why. I don't understand the why. I understand that, but if you're cooking chicken, that's how
I didn't cook it with the chicken. I happened to be cooking pork that day.
Okay, well I understand.
And it was good. I cook it with some other meat. It was not as good as when I cooked the pork.
I guess it's the fat and stuff like that.
It could be that it had in, I don't know if it had in an amount of acid.
Of course, very acidic.
You know,
yes, that's what. Yeah,
but it was the sweet
yes.
carambola, but it was young.
I got you.
And some of it, you know, oh God, the monkey make life miserable.
Gotta get a fence.
More been go ask someone. Once you get electrical fence, you'll be smiling. Can the electrical fence do works? Huh? It do works. It just make sure it's maintained. As I said, don't let too much big bush, which we have around here. Just all over and stuff, and then you just kind of shorten it out in a sense like that.
The trees go close to it to trim it back, you know.
Definitely. Okay. So I'll give you a break. And I'll come back over to Sam, and then come tomorrow. So Sam, since after lockdown now you're in full effect, you understand? So how everything been going? Customer base. Do you have are the food being sold? You have any issue getting your food sold?
Well, just after the lockdown,
yes,
nothing was being planted much.
Of course.
But just from January, I started bringing in some herbs.
Yes.
And some thyme.
Definitely.
And some lettuce.
Because you have some beautiful herbs there, and thymes on the screen, very bountiful on lettuce.
For the weekend gone,
yeah,
I spent the entire Sunday transplanting some thyme, 3 trays of thyme.
Okay.
Yeah, actually having 72.
Of course, definitely.
I had 3 trays. Well, today I got 4 more trays. So the whole yard is gonna be swarmed with thyme, herbs, and this other thing. So when I go out any of my doors back or front, I just from time I do that, I just able to see the fruit.
And I see you smile at when you talk about your garden, which means you warm your heart.
Yes, because I'm planning it. I'm planning it. So
yes,
when I go to the back and I see a lot of lettuce there. And then some pepper trees over here.
Yes.
And along further, I will see some spinach.
Of course.
And then just, it pleased my heart to see that, well, the backyard now is coming back.
Of course, to life.
And it would be like that. I'm now thinking of getting on some more topsoil.
Okay.
Because there's some areas that the soil is still hard. And I will get the topsoil that already mixed with the manure.
Yes.
And I'll be able to just do the things that I would like to do.
Yes.
I have one problem though, as everybody will have, the monkeys. So
yes.
They come by you? Yeah, they'll come in, but then you find like my neighbors, both of them have dogs.
Oh, got you. Okay.
So they won't take the chance to come.
From their side?
From their side.
Yes.
So my concentrated effort will have to be to the back.
I got you.
And as I told my wife, if we get the back,
Yeah.
the monkey
Of
protected,
course.
then I could plan time to the extreme back of the land.
Okay, you don't plan it.
Yeah.
Okay, nice,
So you
nice,
have to
nice.
move towards that.
Okay.
And it's good because you in my spare time I could just go out in the garden and just do some weeding.
Okay.
And maybe do some marketing based on how the things I'm producing.
Nice.
I could put it on my WhatsApp now.
Definitely.
Status.
Okay.
So the person could know that, well, these things are available. Yeah? And it's good. I will encourage anybody
Yeah.
to go into it. Because it's like it keep you occupied.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you could reach persons, maybe even to just give them something.
Definitely
You know?
nice.
And maybe you get a chance to sell something.
True.
You just actually feeling the fruits of all the hard work
Yes.
that you've been doing, and at the end of the day, it's just the crops are going the way you like them to go.
Definitely.
Because when you plant and the things come, it's good. But when they wither away,
Of course.
you have to just do some work.
Definitely.
Either get some, maybe protect the plants some more, maybe some mulching.
Yes.
Or maybe, but I basically refrain from any chemical whatsoever.
Definitely.
I don't have that around me.
Nice.
The manual thing is
Of
enough.
course.
And I've learned some techniques that you
Yes.
could, when I cut the yard, just
course.
take an area and cover them up.
Definitely.
That grass.
Yes.
And when I think it is finished, like
Break
decompose,
down. Yeah.
they're going to take it up and just use it somewhere else.
Of course.
So
of course.
with
Of
the
course.
ideas that you would have given me
Yes.
and other extension officers and
Yes.
in my conversations with Mull,
Yes.
I utilize them. And then at the end of the day,
Yeah.
when you see what's happening.
Actually, so the man you smile, the man you talk like the gardener, you talk about the wife. Me not understand this thing, Me sergeant talk about the girl, you talk about the husband or whatever. The children talking about the girl, you talk about, you understand? A female or male. So, but it's just to show, I mean, the seriousness, and I think you guys need to be on the task force, when it comes to with Dr. Laws and you all need to be on the task force because this is medicine you're speaking here about, and you can't lie from these things here, and these are going to build your immune system, and especially when something is grown in an organic way, you know, ain't no chemical been on it, no pesticides, no herbicide you sprayed along in your yard, and any residue. You know you can pick this, wash it off, and just eat it.
And you plant it?
Because that's the whole point.
Remember when I told you this story that I threw some seeds in the corner of my
Yes.
yard and I let it get unruly and I grow a squash.
Okay then.
And I feel good
you see? Because it's yours.
It's
and the
fine.
food, somehow when you grow your own things, it tend to taste better, right?
Yeah, boy.
Can't put price on that.
But generally,
Yes.
COVID has brought the entire world
Yes.
into like a concentrated effort of going
True.
back to roots.
Definitely. True.
Because every household in the 60s, 70s, 50s
Used to have
had
plants.
this thing going.
Yes.
And it's good that the agricultural extension officers
Yes.
could have encouraged
Definitely.
this, because we could be able to do well.
Of
you know,
course.
and everybody, especially when you're locked down,
True.
you can't go anywhere. You could just go in your backyard.
Of course. It will keep you busy.
And pick something
True.
to eat and so it's very good. I must commend the agriculture department, the
Yes.
extension officers, to the agriculture department actually,
Okay.
in the work that they've been doing.
Much appreciated.
In nurturing
Yes.
farmers, giving them knowledge,
Yes.
and encouraging the farming,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, everybody doing something in the backyard
Yes. Well,
would help.
the reality is, the extension staff at the agriculture department and everyone who is working there, from the director, deputy, PS, our job is just get the doctors and them and whatever it is. Our job is to nurture you guys, give you all the information, work along with you guys, give you all additional information, whatever information you have. Just don't do this. Just tweak it. You understand? Because you all doing stuff that is good too, But whatever I can put upon it, to improve, that is what it is. Not mine is not like that. You understand? We give accommodation. But my thing is, once you come in your yard, I say grass alone, you do good. You see? Because you can't fail. You understand? Because you have stuff planted, you're trying, and you must get some kind of grade. But if you just got grass like you want to play golf, well, me put all X. Well, that's a lot of yard like they have golf. Some want to picket fence and then just, because they just want to show the house. You got a big house, but then you can't get food to eat. Then when you're on lockdown, you're in the house vexed and stressed because you're not got no tree to come out of the shelter and go on and sit. You don't have no birds coming inside your yard. You don't have no worm. No, you know what I'm just saying, if your yard is just open up with your property, you don't have a microclimate. So no birds going to come inside your yard. There's nothing there to come to. There's nothing there to attract them. You don't have no flowers. You don't have no fruit trees. You don't have nothing. And check it out, you'll realize your environment will be much hotter than those who have fruit trees and plants in their yard. Because you're going to bring in all kind of different, then the wind going to blow different to the trees, and then you can go outside and sit under the tree and cool. You have to stay in the house.
Even eat and all.
That's the whole point. So, Sam, I was going to ask you, you have children, so how have this been impact with the gardening on the children? Them? How is that?
Well,
the influence.
When I'm planting anything from the trees,
yes,
they gather.
They get it. They like that. They get involved.
So all I have to do is to put up my hands.
Yeah.
And they'll give me this and in the soil.
Nice.
So they're just there.
So you're working as a team.
And you find like just Friday afternoon trying to get it done quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to plant our 2 trays of lettuce in less than a half an hour.
Definitely.
Because every time I don't dig a hole,
they wait upon you.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
So which means they're pushing the work.
Yeah.
Good.
They've been doing that for a while now.
I love to hear that.
As long as I'm doing in transplant,
they're getting involved.
They're getting involved.
So that's the whole point. So it's a family effort.
Yes. And you can't complain about it, because if the children like what they're doing,
yes,
that's
the whole point.
Preparing another set
of course.
Yes, they will be focusing on the academics.
Of course, that's important.
It will remain in the mind.
Definitely.
Just like I said, well, I would have seen my brother doing this.
Yes.
And now that I'm old,
you're doing
maybe
this.
like her age,
True.
I'm now doing it. So
yes.
what a child learn from youth,
you're not going to depart, of course.
Depart from it.
Definitely.
Yeah. And that is why I could spend an entire day on my farm digging up.
And it's not, so which means somebody says, oh, that's hard work, but it's not, because it's not hard, it's just work.
It's just work.
Can you use it in your own time,
yeah.
And you're smiling, you're doing it for yourself, and at the same time you can eat, and at the same time still make money.
I spend the whole of Sunday in my garden.
Yes.
I ate breakfast about after 11.
Yeah.
And I didn't eat no food whatsoever.
Yes.
And then when I finished my garden for the entire day, I then went inside and do my household, help the children and wash some dishes, scrub the bathroom, and
Definitely.
And it's just like the physical.
So it energizes you then. Come at the garden, you're still full of energy.
Yeah, to do the self-help with somebody with the
Definitely.
housework.
Nice.
And at the end of the day, because that was a good day in farming, because I will see the lettuce them now.
Of course.
Giving an extra leaf.
Of course. So you're working.
It's working.
Yes.
Yeah. So we did 4 trays of thyme that I bring in, that I brought in today.
Yeah.
I'll try to get them off before the end of the week, so that the yard could be organized.
So those are ready to harvest.
Yeah,
to plant.
To plant.
To plant. Okay, transplant. Get them, plant them out to me before the week done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess the children gonna be ahead of you.
Again, yeah.
There we go. Full speed. Yes, beautiful thing. So which means, so once you see these things growing, and then you live in the yard, they have a part to play in it. Mm-hmm. So they say, well, I help plant those too.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So it really gonna left a lasting impression on them, because.
And something because I did many other works I will do.
Yes.
If I reach home late, by the time I reach home, somebody already start watering. Good. You see, and that's what it's all about. Let me come across to Mal here, because you hear saying the front is for the wife, but I know the wife have a part to play with the garden also. Because your wife, I know your wife, beautiful lady. So where does your wife come into play? Let me hear you.
Like you say, my whole of my yard in Jipot yet.
Of course.
Only the back.
Yes.
I'm working on a plan to Jipot the whole thing.
Okay.
But she do all the watering. By the time I reach home this afternoon, she don't do the watering.
You see?
And at one time when we were planting doing our own seedlings.
Yes.
But before we had the greenhouse,
Of course.
And the crapper used to mess it up, man.
Mm-hmm.
But she's the one to do that.
Okay.
And sometimes, not all the time, but
Yes.
sometimes when I plant anything, that she pack them to me too, you know.
Of course. So you all work together.
Yeah. And sometimes when I pick the stuff, you know, she clean them up and wash them up and stuff like that.
I know you have an executive pastry baker. Eh? You're a very good pastry chef. I put executive on it. Very good. Very good. Eh? You know that.
Yeah.
I don't really eat, pineapple tart and stuff like that. But trust me, boy. Your wife.
Kenneth?
Me.
Not me, the wife, not me.
No.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
Very skilled, cost perfect. Trust me, that's heaven. Heaven. Very good. You understand? So you all don't have your commitment. You're aging up to the front a little bit to come on the
No,
corner.
I done it.
But Kenneth, flowers attract pollinators.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
as
at least
food
those-
cheese with flowers too.
But I ain't just was it.
You're not
Because
just-
she got a mark on it, you know. You know, I give you a joke, right?
Yes.
One time she was coming for work, right? Because she worked one pillar.
Yes.
And I live close to one pillar. So we're planting a tree, right? A fruit tree. I think it was this tree, you know. I'm guessing, but I think so. Was the Maya lemon tree.
Yes.
And she came and she said, well, you pass the front of the house. And I said, no. I said, you're coming from an angle, so you're seeing it different.
I got you.
So come straight.
But those are some beautiful lemon there.
Yeah.
So it shows, the watering, you keep your soil moisture there.
Oh, yes. I mean, she water, man.
You understand? So if the soil, you will definitely get some bountiful products. So I see you have the Bible. I'm curious to know what it is in that Bible.
This is just a little bit of one. This only to all I keep in here is what I plant when I plant.
So you
what
keep
I-
records.
What I buy
Mm-hmm.
and what I sell.
Okay.
So some months you make a couple of dollars and some months, you know, it's nothing.
Of course.
But I think last month.
Okay, so let me say this: for a single household with just a female and no daddies in the house, or a single household with a male and with the children don't have a female in the house, how would this improve the income if they choose to use the space and start to do some farming? And also, how you farm? How anyone get in contact with you if they want to get, and some also get some of these bountiful organically grown products?
My number is 66
Mm-hmm.
08.
You do not smile. Why you smile? You love money, yeah?
Well, I mean, like they say, if you work, you should get something.
Of course.
And I'm being
You got a number there?
Repeat it.
663 0858.
All
I mean,
right,
and I'm
right.
selling organic product. You know, a
And
lady,
where people can find your stuff if they want some of your stuff? Where do your
well,
stuff
they
sell?
could come by me or
Yeah.
they can go by my aunt.
Which one your aunt?
Aunt Elmina. She sells just in front the Amos Chapel Church there on Fridays.
Okay, yes.
And Best Buy in Gingerland on Saturdays.
Okay.
You know, I always say that a lady, she bought some cucumber for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, it's the sweetest cucumber she ever eat.
Yes.
She eat the skin and all.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you love to hear that. That's good.
A lady there buy up some planting for me, and she said, well, I offered to sell her some planting. And she
Yes.
said, I don't really like planting, you know. But she said, bring them anyway.
Yes.
And after that, now she keep harassing me for planting. She said, Mel, listen me. My son don't eat things, but she eat half all.
Mm-hmm. But
I said,
that is good.
I don't know. I said,
Yes.
what I do with them? I said, listen me, all I do
Yes.
is just simple manual.
It work. It
And water.
really do work.
So I just do a record here for what I think. If I buy something, if
Yes.
I plant so much as plant, and what I sell, you know.
Yes.
And some months, I mean, I think last month was a good month. You know, I mean, I make like about $1,200.
Just in the backyard. Just in the backyard.
I'm not talking about what I eat
Just
and what I give away.
Yes.
Just what I sell.
So your backyard produce what people work a week time. and more than people work a month time.
I don't know.
Well, that's basically if you work out the maths. Some people don't make $200 a week. And you know what I'm saying? So your backyard producing more than minimum wage in a week time. So it means that it
But
works.
it got some months better than some, yeah?
Of course.
Yeah.
But that's just average. So it means it go up more, it could come down a little bit. But at the same time, you're definitely making something out. It pays for itself then.
Yeah. But to me, okay, one of the biggest joy you could get, right?
Yes.
Is when you eat something
Yes.
from your garden. Like yesterday, I was eating some string bean and some squash.
Nice.
And I said, man, this squash tastes sweet, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, well, I pick a squash. You know what I mean? I'm going to ask my wife. She said, yeah, that's a squash there.
Yeah.
Like this man, I went out and picked like a pound of string bean.
Okay.
Some okra.
Yeah.
The guava.
Of course.
The guava. You see? I'll leave everything for you.
That's a big guava.
From people out the guava, we don't know what's it. We say, why that?
That's a nice guava. And that is what one of those spice guava?
Yeah, this spice guava.
Nice.
But these are this one
small, of course.
Yeah, because they got some like
massive, almost like
almost as big as that thing there. That,
of course.
So where did you get that guava? Where you bought it?
You know, I bought it at the agriculture open there about a couple of years ago. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Somebody just sold it to me. I said, "This a bite," and I just buy it. At the time, I wasn't into.
Those guava come big. I've seen have some guava like a mango.
Yeah.
Massive. That's a baby guava.
Yeah, that's very small.
Very small. Bigger than wind ball.
And you say it's a what? It's a
spice
guava. This one is Maya lemon.
Oh, Maya lemon.
But this is the spice
guava.
Yes.
You know, the other day I give a lady one, right? I promise she a guava all the time,
yes.
right? So I take her and I give her the guava. So the next lady was in the office and she said, well, there's two ladies in here. You bring one guava.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I didn't promise her, I promised her.
Yeah.
So she said, I didn't cut her because I didn't want to share with her. But he said, I carried it home. My mother asked, so I had to give my mother half. He said, I should have eaten it all.
Nice.
But you know, you could give somebody, like I said, you could give somebody something, you could eat something, you know. I mean, and then you could make little dollars too. You know what I mean? Because you spend money too.
Of course.
Yeah, you spend money too. And you should be able to get back something, you know what I mean?
Well, it just shows, I mean, the reason why I want to encourage people, I mean, to use up their space, because we all have space. It might not be the same amount, but what is no space too small to use. Because even if you plant 5, you know what I mean, a half a dozen tomato trees, bell pepper trees, once you take care of them, you'll be having a harvest after these trees for a very long time.
But I want to say one thing, you know, from the last time I was here, right? Mm-hmm. You know, most people come at me or check my yard and say that they want the yard look like mine.
It's a beautiful thing, and that is what this show is all about.
The yard look like mine.
Definitely. It's a beautiful thing, and that's what this show is all about, which means it's working. I mean, people are listening, and the thing about it, you love to teach at the same time, and that's what it's all about. I can't do it by myself. I mean, I'm just the medium that, you know what I mean, sending out the message and stuff like that. And then those who are listening, you're here, so then you go, and then you pass on the information. Because when you come to you, say, Mol, where you call me for all the time, Mol? Mol, where you saw me for? Mol, I don't tell this already, no, Mol, I don't tell it already. You're supposed to learn fast. Yeah, because I love to teach, and I love people to learn fast. Mol, I don't teach you to ELA already. Why you want me to come ELA with you for?
Yeah, that's something I need to know.
Mol, you could do it. Man, I want you to do it. Are you the doctor? Boy, Mol, you could do it too. I don't show you.
I did some already, but
and
to
you
me,
do it.
the local lime, I get it do better, you know?
You all you have to use a pencil size stem. I mean, the more you do, so it's important to massage, I mean, the rooting powder into, I mean, the stem when you already take off, I mean, the back.
Speaking of that, Jetty Taylor had to ask, where did you? What happened to it?
Oh,
he ain't catch. It back.
He ain't catch Jetty. These things will happen sometime. So I'll come back and I'll do a next one, and we go back from there. But so those things happen sometime. And have nothing to do with me, and it's just how the rule of nature works sometime. Mm-hmm. Okay, the graph didn't catch, and the ELA didn't catch. I'm only know that goes because you ELA sometime.
Sometimes it catches and sometimes
so it's nothing to beat up yourself about. No. It's just like a doctor cut you down and he left a scissors inside of you when he stitch you up. These things happen. But that definitely the doctor for he's supposed to make sure before he stitch up, make sure you get all the tools before he stitch up. But it was just a light moment. So Miss Thompson, I have to be careful to come to you. I have to think twice.
You got it, man. You got it.
How, since you've been farming, I mean, your friends, I mean, how is that? I mean, does it encourage anyone to start do a little planting in a sense like that? No, you're feeding yourself, and no, you're talking to your friends. Now, well, I'm going to the supermarket. Well, so I'm going to the supermarket, but your supermarket is also in the yard. So how, when they hear you speak like that, how that make them feel?
They want to do the same thing.
Nice.
Because sometimes stuff from my garden I give away.
Yes.
And people are surprised.
Because they don't know it to be a farmer, a gardener in a sense like that, right?
Could be.
Of course. You get your hands dirty. They don't know it to be.
Yeah, but it's this morning I woke up.
Yes.
And I usually plant by the moon.
Okay.
So I know.
So you got your almanac. You got your farming almanac.
I go online.
You go online. Okay.
Yes. And I yesterday, today, and tomorrow is supposed to be above ground.
Yes.
And so yesterday I planted 8 banana
So which
suckers.
means tomorrow is underground.
No. Today, yesterday, and tomorrow is above ground.
And tomorrow supposed to be good for planting crops on the ground.
I don't know.
I already get called for somebody wants sweet potato to plant. Can you see for the vine? Can I want to plant some potatoes for tomorrow and next couple of days?
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right.
But some people work with the moon. I mean, which it does work at the same time. You know, because you have to be the shift of the earth and just to do with science.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how our ancestors used to plant way back. And traditionally, it's still some farmers still continue. But I plant anytime, anyhow.
Anyway.
Because we gotta live. I
Sometimes-
operate like that.
Sometimes there's something in me that
yes.
says plant.
Yeah. Of course.
And I plant, but
yes.
I stick with
but
this.
that way still
Yes.
work. A lot of farmers still work with that way, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, so I planted out 8 banana suckers last night.
Mm-hmm.
And
last night.
Yeah, it went down into the evening.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say last night. Into
In
the
evening, okay.
Yeah. Because, my soil is hard.
Yes.
So you got to wet it down before you start
I
digging and
understand.
that kind of thing.
Yes.
And then I woke up this morning with the intention of planting 8 more of a different variety.
Yes.
But then I usually use seaweed. I use seaweed in my farming.
Very good. Very good.
And there was none down at Frost Bay. There was
Yes.
none down at Gallows Bay.
Wait, back up. Frost Bay? Where is that?
Frost Bay is that bay next to Van Radio.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Overbad.
Mm-hmm.
That's my name, Frost Bay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
So I went by a guy across by Hamilton, I think over the years, and I went and looked grass. I looked some grass, and then later on, my cousin and I went down to Indian Castle to get the seaweed.
You can check Herbert Beach. They think they come there a lot to Herbert Beach.
Herbert Beach kind of far.
Indian Castle. So
Yeah,
is it
Indian
closer to
Castle-
you for here?
Indian
Yes.
Castle closer
Okay.
for me. So yes, we went there and we got seawater and seaweed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was so tired because those guys were by me and I was
Yes.
there running around with them. And then I had to water some plants that were not on the drip system, and then
Okay.
had to unravel that drip
Yes.
because it had some kinks in it. So my day was not as fruitful as I had planned.
I got you.
But I got stuff done.
You get stuff done, of course.
Yes.
What's something get done? Every day gonna be the same, eh?
Yes, I got things done. So tomorrow is another day.
Yes.
And tonight I'll sleep well because I'm really tired. Yeah.
Well, I realize. I mean, you have your broad hat.
Yeah.
So you're really a farmer. You're just for the occasion.
I try.
You have your
I
broad
try.
straw hat. I mean, when you're in the garden and you're doing your thing. So, and it's working. The evidence is there. I come by you many times, and you see it's working.
Mm-hmm.
All I just said to tell you, just keep the soil moisture within a range. Most of the time, the watering is off sometimes.
Yes, big time.
Then
Big time. Yeah.
mulching will help improve and keeping that moisture. Some people tend to burn the grass and burn the leaves, and this is something I don't encourage.
Did you say burn? What do you mean?
Fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people burn grass and stuff like that on the island.
You mean to put in the soil?
No, just burn them.
To
get rid of them. Yes.
Oh.
So, and you use yours as your, cause then you create your own compost for your nutrients, which is a next plus again. So, everybody here pass. You see?
I have compost box.
Yes. So you all use everything organic, and the
Yeah.
plant recognize it one time.
One day I went driving. When I just came back, I was driving around trying to see how Nevis is and that
Of
kind of
course.
thing. And there was this farmer over in Brown Hill, and he was spraying like the devil behind him. And I said to my cousin, but look at that. And so when we came back, I asked, who that down there spraying? And the girl gave me the name. And we need to do something about the spraying. Because from what I understand, that spraying is reducing the number of pollinators that we would have
Yes.
in agriculture, in gardening on a whole. We need to do something.
A lot of the remember chemicals are for one thing, kill. But if you're gonna use something that is plant-based. Because some of them kill, as I said, the pollinators, the bees, that even harm the fish if in your water source. And these are part of when it comes to, well, as I said, agriculture is all this happening right now. Whether it's COVID, whatever we do on planet Earth, we gotta care for the environment.
Yeah.
And what you guys doing here, the three of you, it's a beautiful thing. That this is what is recommended. Because the overspraying with pesticides, herbicides, it contaminate your soil, it degrade your soil, it kill your good microbes, it kill your good, you understand, soil earthworms, everything that is there. After a while, I was telling somebody the other day, I give them the next 50 years. Well, I know you all will have good soil, but there's a serious situation going to happen because a lot of, especially when it comes to land degradation, because we want nice roads, we want big house, you know what I'm saying? We want nice car to drive same way, and we love to speak hotel, and then hotel use a lot of, they want your land, your best land too, and then you don't know the amount of chemicals are coming in, and then by this show, the shoreline I must say, and it's chemicals to maintain all these golf courses, these fruit trees, and then they're gonna bring what they want, and that's why if they come here, the pesticides boards have a very important. I mean, they've been doing a good job so far, but not the perfect. There's a lot of room there for improvement, and the same thing when it comes to anything pertaining to agriculture, when it comes to landscaping, even when it comes to rodents, all these, even into your house. Most people have 7 in their house. You have 7, Mol? Some have 7. You have 7?
I had buy some 7 before I knew it was bad for the soil.
Bad for everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I still have
bad
it.
for everything.
But for ants and son, I use vinegar.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Because 7 is in the red zone. Ooh. Red zone. Highly toxic. But somehow it was advertised and well marketed for the Caribbean, you understand? For us to use and think it is safe. But 7 is very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
So I recommend, depending for your garden, you can mix up your own cocktail, whether you use some cayenne pepper, some vinegar, some soap, whatever, some neem oil. I
just use plant-based,
it's plant-based, but you can use soursop leaves, we call it the sugar apple, banana leaves, all these different stuff, you understand? As soak them and experiment the plants. Whatever you use and it works, I can't tell you no work. It's just to go to the doctor and say, doctor, when we feel sick, doctor can't tell you no sick. He could say, well, he come and he keep complaining, saying I feel good, but me check out and the same by me when somebody the man says the man sick. It's basically the same thing. So whatever you use, it's just like you have a soursop and you see have on some white mealybugs, them pink mealybugs. Even if you use your hose with some pressure,
wash it off.
And wash it off.
Yeah,
Instead of going and buy some, or go to TDC or hospital or whatever and get some, your hardware and get something that toxic and spray it. Make no sense. So observation is key. Every time you go into your garden, you observe, you look, as you call it, ASA. You understand? ASEA. I would call it agricultural system. You know what I'm saying? ASA. Agroecological system analysis, where everything, as far as the eye can see, can affect your garden in a positive way or a negative way. When there's people passing, gotta go pick your food.
Yeah.
You understand? Or they go say, well, I see a donkey and I run it, I call the owner and say, well, could be negative, positive. Butterfly one day, it's next day you see a lot more, can it become more overcast, raining. So you see, we may get more worms. So it's all about monitor. Because spraying is always the last resort. The last resort. Last way. And where you mean you're losing the crop. You have to spray it, and if you're going to do spray, I recommend you use something in the green zone. Yeah. You understand? Because safety is everything. And just so we end up here, we leave here, we're supposed to live here in a better place than how we met it. And that is the right thing to do, because I'm telling you, we're in a global challenge when it comes to all kind of different scenarios where some saying we don't have enough land space, You understand? To grow food because of all the different climate change. Because when you see, well, it's what happened in St. Vincent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of farmers gonna be displaced. Lose a lot of food is being damaged. I don't want to manage the kind of the agricultural impact assessment to be done. I would like to be the extension officer to go do an assessment. Everything done.
Everything done.
Because even if you have a heavy rain for at least 2 days, whatever assessment is out there and in the field, as an agriculturalist, you just got to ready it off.
You got to ready it off.
You just got to ready it off. You have 2,000 meadows out there, whatever is in the field, those crops not going to come back. Because it's too much you have to go do, you know what I mean, to bring them back, because the amount of heavy rain and drenching and leaching of nutrients and fungus build-up going to start happening and bacteria. The plant going to be so stressed over all this. No good. So the most you have to do when you see storm pass here, we got to write off all this stuff. So when you go on the island, you got so much millions of, where are the millions? Because it's really what it is. After the plant reach that stressful point, it ain't coming back, you know. You just have to write it off. And that's just the reality about it. So what goes on in the, I mean, one of my friends sent me some pictures, I mean, in his garden and stuff like that in St. Vincent. And you can't even recognize what kind of trees these are just white. With the ash.
Yeah.
The crop ain't no good no more.
Ghostly,
and these are trees, bringing food, tomatoes, okras, just bell peppers, gone. So it's a real situation. It's like today, I wonder if I should come over here, because the place look mystic by. The weather, how it made. I said, the fire come down. Because it look real mystic.
We passed 2 days.
Yes. Guide Sam. Speaking to me, yeah.
In St. Vincent, how the ash has affected even the coconut trees.
Everything.
Bowing, actually.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Because there's heat also.
It's build up, and then it might have some heat and you affect the leaves and all this stuff. Yeah, it's a lot. Even you see some house collapse, from the weight. Ash in its light form, you know what I mean, is good for the soil, you know what I mean, improve its nutrients and stuff like that. But when it comes to too much, and then especially when rain start to fall, they're going to turn into like a concrete,
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But the light, if anything come here, lightly and drop and whatever, it work out for us good. That's like some, you know what I mean, some nice fertilizer and things like that. But when you have heavy, and you start to get 3, 4, 5, 6 inches and rain, oh no, you're cooking a concrete, everything mash up right there. It's starting to migrate, you can't do nothing there. Ain't no good no more. So, as I said, I mean, I say for those who have to move, but I'm not to stay. Because when you move to get back, I don't know how they're going to work, because people, it's where you know, because if many leave from most never go back, some still here, some went to England, and after over there, some most are still, it's still active, right? From time to time. So, some to you, so what would you encourage, I mean, those who listening, whether male, female, who have a small space, what would be your words to them, especially in these times here when it comes to growing their food?
Well, from what they would have heard, explain this evening, that they can do some planning and organizing the space in the yard to put in whatsoever they think would be the best.
Yes.
To the reach in supplying themselves. If they do that planning, then they wouldn't have no regret.
Definitely.
Because the thing is in your backyard.
Yes.
So you could utilize your time with the time that you spend on your property. And
if they don't want to come out in the backyard, they can put a pot on the porch.
Yes.
Because when they go up the step, I put it on the side of the step. The different trees upstairs, you put 1, 2, 3, where much trees you have, a pot, and that could be a garden right there.
Because our house is a concrete roof.
Yes.
And I contemplating
going on the roof.
Going up?
Definitely. Is there those things? Of course.
Because if I could get 50 by 29 space.
That's a lot of space. It's a lot of space. Of course. That is done in some people in Sinkert use a matter of fact, even some supermarket use the rooftop and grow food, in the outside world. And believe me, you save a monkey. You see? So those who listen to my voice, who have a lot of concrete roof in the Federation of Sinkers and Nevis, you can't go wrong with planting on your roof. It's a beautiful thing, and at the same time you have a nice view. Of course. You know the monkey coming up there, nobody coming to steal your stuff, and you're getting direct sunlight. So you can't go wrong with all that.
And they're taking some of the sunlight off your roof.
So you keep your house cooler.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. So it's a win-win situation. Definitely. Mol, how would you encourage anybody to? I mean, would you encourage anybody?
Well, like I said, I always do.
Yes.
I mean, you just gotta come and some people meet me.
Yes.
And tell me, man, listen to me. So nobody don't say no, they know where I live. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I remember one time a lady was describing, a guy was telling a lady she by cross the road, and she say, "Oh, you by the lady with a nice garden."
Mm-hmm.
So for me, time I look at my garden, people look where they want to be encouraged. They was encouraged to plant.
Yes.
Because like I say, you just gotta use some space.
Of course.
I mean, you could use I do boxes, like I say. Sometimes I could just use 2x3.
Yes.
That's 6 square foot.
Of course.
You could plant 6 lettuce or
True.
12 lettuce in there.
Definitely.
Or 6 cabbage. You don't need no big thing.
Of course.
You just plant. I mean, you plant 1 lime tree. I mean, like this afternoon I went home. Somebody told me they want some lime.
Yes.
And I picked 12 pound of lime.
Half of 1 tree.
1 tree.
All right then. And you see how much smell, right? Because I know what's the most you pick up for 1 lime tree?
Like last year, right? I only have 2 lime trees.
Yes.
And I sell 135 pound of lime.
Wow.
That's a lot of lime, actually.
Yep.
Lot of lime.
Yeah,
but a 2 lime tree.
You see what I did with my lime trees, right? I put stone on it.
Of course, keep it.
I'm putting it dot and manure mix it, and I put the grass and mulch it down.
Of course.
And like I said, my wife keep watering,
Of course. So by adding the manure, and your mulch, over time all that will go into compost, So you get that rich humus right there, readily available for the plant.
Like you said to me that my lime tree be like kinup, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, bunchy. I think you had a picture there, with when the lime tree.
You might gotta zoom in it a little bit,
Yes. Well, you could see the lime them straight up. Even Ray Charles could say that. Stephen wonder how big those are. You understand? So, Miss Thompson, how would you encourage anyone to do what you're doing? I mean, what are the benefits of planting your food?
Oh, you see that?
You see right here? See some kinip there? Bunchy. Nice. And it's the coloration of the tree. So you see the tree is well taken care of. The coloration is there. The food, and those are still young. You can see those nice.
That was on last year.
Yes, I got you.
But this year, that's the same tree pick off this afternoon.
Okay. 12 pounds, you say?
Yeah, and I've been picking up in the far well now.
Nice. 135 pounds of lime. Last year for 2 lime tree. Yeah. It's a lot of lime, X-Ray. So X-Ray, any words to
you like to pull me in?
I gotta pull you in.
After you finish, I need to say something.
Yes.
No, you can say it now.
Go ahead.
All right. Yes, I would encourage people to go into backyard or any kind of farming.
Yes.
No matter how small your space, the rewards are marvelous.
Nice.
Knowing that you're eating what you produce.
Yes.
At least you know that your food is safe.
Good.
We tend to say that you buy in the market and the food is organic and all that. I cannot be sure of that. I definitely know that what's in my yard is safe for me. So I would encourage people. You plant what you want.
Definitely.
You eat what you want. I go in my yard and whatever is I pick from in my yard, that's what I cook.
Good.
I do not go and say, well, I'm going to eat so and so today.
Yes.
I go and see what is there.
Yes.
And whatever is there, that's what I cook.
And you see the different. You look and see. You make a lot of choices. Actually, believe me, Miss Dubs have a lot of choices. So that's why she can speak like that. She look. If you ain't got one thing planned, you have to look. You're going straight to the one thing there. Yeah. When you start to look, and both, all 3 of them can say the same thing. And then, cause one thing I want to encourage, you must have your condiments. You know what I mean? You stuff for your tea gardens, and those are very important, and your seasoning.
Yeah, I got that.
Oh yeah,
very important.
Definitely.
Okay, if you can have your seasoning and your condiments for tea, whether it's jumbo sticky thyme, your basils, your mint, you can't go wrong. Because these are things that are gonna build your immune system, especially the basil and the jumbo sticky. And the jumbo sticky thyme, they're anti-aging, eh?
Oh really?
Yeah, man. Keep you young, man. So I know. Right. So I hope that would inspire more people to go to jumbo sticky thyme.
Well, I season with it, and I make a tea from it.
Yes.
I never did tea, but we season with it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever I say, My mouth is not the Bible. My mouth is not the Bible. Like people read it for yourself. And if you always read, just Google it. Yeah. And if I'm off, I'm off. But the odds are, it's close enough. You can't go wrong with that. Because all these things are, antifungal and antioxidant, and they build your immune system. Very, very important. You understand? We have everything around here. When you look, it's somewhere in South America and down there. Everything right up on Nevis. Mm-hmm. Right here.
In addition to that, last week Thursday, a group of us gathered at Prospect.
Okay.
We want to form a backyard gardeners association group, whatever.
So like a beautiful thing to me. So this is really, really needed. We should have started 20 years ago. So I must commend you guys to do something like that. I'm very impressed.
So it's just to encourage and educate and help each other with what we're doing individually. I guess eventually they'll give us some collective power to bargain for aids that will help us with our backyard gardening. We are going to have another meeting next week, Thursday, the 22nd.
Okay.
At 5. At the same place.
Where is that?
At the conference room at Agriculture.
Oh, the Agriculture Conference Room at
yes,
Prospect.
At Prospect. And it's going to be at 5. Sam, you should come.
Yes, I'll be
Yeah,
there.
leave the water to the children.
And everybody's invited.
The general public is invited?
Yes, as long as you're a backyard gardener, please come.
Somebody who suppose you have not a backyard, but you want to start.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So as many people as possible, please come. It's 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
You could come straight from work.
Yes.
The last meeting was at 2 o'clock, I think, and that caused the gathering to be small.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that more people will be able to come. Those who couldn't come.
Yes.
Because one person wanted to know if we were doing it online.
Okay.
But we didn't have that. So we're hoping that more people will come. That's basically it. So
you're not going to be Zoomed?
No, you have to be there.
Present.
You have to be there. Yeah.
Okay.
There's Mr.
His name.
What is that? A gentleman from where?
The guy from St. Kitts.
Oh, this is. I'm not sure. You mentioned the person name to me earlier.
How could I not remember his name?
Yes. So just remember, is the 22nd, which will be it will be a Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's at the Agricultural Conference Room. So those 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. You'll be surrounded by positive people, and the good thing about farming a group, as Mol Sam communicate, you all work together, network, and who best good at going? Cause you got times, and you say people can't go time, so you can transfer your technique, what you do different. You see what I mean? So it's all about if you're good at growing, tomatoes, you share the information, and it's all about networking. Each one teach one.
And the guy's name is Versailles.
Oh, Versatile.
Yes.
That's my virgin there.
All right, good.
It's African Versatile.
And I think Mr. Duggins.
Versatile for me.
Huh?
Versatile supposed to be a part of the thing?
He's the one doing the pitch.
Yeah, because I used to...
He doing the what?
The pitch to get it going, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, Versatile.
There is one in St. Kitts. I was part of the one in St. Kitts.
Okay.
But then they formed a formal group with constitution and everything.
Okay.
So they're trying to get a group started in Nevis.
For the Nevis public.
For the Nevis farmers.
I tell me at Versatile number there now.
I have his number.
Get extra Versatile number. Let me call Versatile here. Versatile. Get 2 words from Versatile. My good friend there. Yes.
I really thought they were going to call in.
I'll call him. Time good. Everything agriculture time is always good.
I want to hear for X-ray.
X-ray. The gentleman want to hear from you.
You see, he put me on this spot when I'm back in my technical duties, but I think I was gonna say while listening the conversation.
Yes.
I think I gonna give me some licks if you know how much space I have where I'm residing.
Really?
Because based on the kind of sizes y'all talking about, it look like I could be the second mall. Yeah.
Okay.
So one of these days I have to bring Bankie over.
Definitely.
To let me know what is what.
And then you can, when you come on the show, you can make sure put your mouth. You understand where your money is, and you're not just talking. And put yourself on the table.
Another thing that I have to add is that when you were talking about the cayenne pepper and the soursop leaves, and I tell you, like, when I moved over there, there were a lot of soursop trees.
Yes.
And I used to wonder, well, why a lot of other things would need looking after, but they're just there. We don't have to do them nothing. Maybe if they look a little dry, then I try a little water.
So you can take nap boat. Certain trees can take a lot of dry weather, you know what I mean, than others.
And then I realize, I can utilize what is around me. So when I do the soursop tea, and then I around the same time I added regularly the cayenne pepper.
You know, right now there are people in England and in the US contacting me. Either they want me to pick off all the soursop leaf in the Nevis and ship a whole container of soursop leaf.
It's very expensive.
Yeah. Of course, I mean, I must give a shout out to the mayor of New York, I mean, and his wife and his family. I mean, and they use up all the bush already. You see, when you're on the island, you take it for granted now. When you leave, you start to limit one bush per cup. And then you're going to share, and then instead you go out, you start to break the bush in half. Because you in the news no more, And then anything you have to go drive somewhere in Brooklyn or in the Bronx, go buy soursop leaves. When you hear news and things in abundance. What do you mean? 5 soursop leaves is about $3 in the US and stuff like that,
It's expensive.
Of course.
It's very expensive.
You have Versal actually? You call it Versal?
Calling.
Say Versal answer your phone. It's ringing. I see my boy Jody Taylor say his wife loved the soursop the same way. So I want to have a soursop tree plant up there too in Chi-Town, JT? Or in Florida? She's from Florida. So then, what you say?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I look like when I get there.
Versal off right now. But
you have WhatsApp?
Yes.
Everything is here. Okay. So, Mol, you just talk about, the amount you can make out your garden. You say, average, some people make a month. You make out your garden easily. It's a beautiful thing. So it shows.
It's the same now.
I'm not here just talking and saying what you can make from your garden. And the evidence is there. Everything here on the table have been grown in a holistic way. Just manure. What I bring here, so we have soursop, we have jelly, green banana, silk banana, we have limes. We can cook an ital pot right now.
Right now.
You understand? You got times, you have seasoning right there, everything is right there. You definitely can't go wrong with something like this. So, and especially in these times here, where, I don't know, some people might have to force, if they don't want to get a vaccine, to start going their own food and start their own business, because this thing getting real when it comes to, making a decision. Because one of the reasons why it's going on here, the people on the island, they ain't sick, as you can see, you understand, and they are healthy, and they can be more healthy if they can even go some of their food, because you see, Miss Thompson said earlier, you don't know if the food is safe.
You don't know.
And it's the same thing even here on the island. Actually, said somebody spraying the stuff, you really don't know.
You really don't know.
And then at the same time, we don't have a system where we can test, you understand, the food on a random basis. That is not in place. It's not mandatory. And it's something I'm pushing the agriculture department to put in place. We have a rapid bio SL lab where we can test certain things, not only for pathogens and bacteria, but you can't test everything. Yeah. And I don't think that is in effect at the same time. Still, some work need to be improved and something like that. But one stuff supposed to go out on the market, they should something in place where more get a barcode and put place in it. Just so you go in the supermarket, you see this stuff and I just can that or whatever it is. I put stick it on some of this stuff and well they come from mall. And you can separate, and also that's a part of tracing too. So you could, cause some would have a different code, and also Miss Stamps would have a different code at the same time. So it's something that you cannot go wrong with that. So until these things, until that's what I'm trying to encourage each and everyone. You can't go everything, but go what you like and start growing your food, because you really, really, really can make a big difference when it comes to feeding yourself. Okay? You can't get versatile. Well,
maybe you want to know what strange number this is.
Now, versatile is a businessman. Something you can't take a call at time. You never know the man don't busy doing it. You understand? Probably on the road, he drive in, you can't take a call and you get a headphone. You know how it is. So, but X-Ray, you finished what Mo was asking you? You're talking about?
Yeah, I was saying now with the soursop leaves,
yes.
And then at the same time I added cayenne pepper. To me diet, regular seasoning.
Yes.
And I realized once I have those two things in the house, right? Certain insects I don't have to worry about.
Okay.
And I thought it was just coincidence at first, but then when I realized, I went after diet for a while and all over the place, and then I start again.
Yes.
And then I said, it's a double header, because then when I was beginning the house, I attracted a lot of things.
True.
But then when we went back to so when I went back to that now. Well, we got
yeah, the 8.
Are you able to talk on the show?
Impromptu.
Huh?
I said impromptu.
If
impromptu.
Tell Bruce we'll call him in 2 minutes. Tell him Bankie want to talk to him.
Bankie wants to talk.
We take an intro and call him back. We take a break and we call him back.
All right.
Tell Bruce we'll call him in 50 seconds.
Wait, 50 seconds?
Yeah.
Everything agriculture.
Yes.
Yeah. 2020 Vision Radio, your #1 radio station.
I'm here saying for us to represent for the Nevis Everything Agriculture Show. Big up Bankie, DJ X-Way, So tune in, and if you're on the internet, zoom in. One love, from the Nevis Everything Agriculture Show. Listen to the man. Ain't no place like home. Me no know about you. Our farmers and fishermen are our unsung heroes. It's time we honor them in our calypsos. We take them for granted, their sterling contribution. So I come to give them their due recognition. To these ordinary heroes, to them I must tip me hat. Not those who suck in the country and living off the fat. From sun up till sundown, they keep working tirelessly, building this land from the bottom up for the great love of their country. They are not rich and famous or powerful politicians. They are the movers and shakers, yes, feeding our nation. The fishermen who brave dangerous waters, yes, to ensure the nation is fed.
Back to Everything Agriculture. I'm your host Bankie. I'm a co-host over there smiling, DJ X-Ray. Versatile. Hello, Versatile?
Yes, Versatile.
Yes, what's up? Bankie here. How are you doing? Welcome to Everything Agriculture radio show here. I was told we're here talking about backyard gardening. I mean, here in Nevis, here you're pushing an initiative when it comes to small space. And anyone who interested want to get involved. How that works?
Not bad, but I have friends. I'm having some difficulties in hearing it.
Okay, I was talking about the backyard gardening. That is initiative that's going on in Nevis. That you're overseeing. I was going to wanted to give an overview of that project. Can you hear me?
Hello. No, you're very soft. Very, very, very soft.
No, it's not. That's better.
No, it's not actually.
Okay, I can hear you clearly. I was talking about the backyard gardening initiative pushing in Nevis and in St. Kitts. How is that going? How that came about?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now, with respect to the backyard garden.
Yes.
It started a while back.
Okay.
And it's all about food security and getting a number of persons together who have a genuine interest in the development of agriculture. And we started in Sinkit, and we had a number of persons actually a part of the chat in Nevis.
Nice.
And then with the launch of the Sinkit Backyard Garden Association, those in Nevis also, we wanted a separate entity in Nevis. And then hopefully later both countries can come together and form a general body for both countries. But the idea is all about food security.
Nice.
Persons who would have retired and planting 1-2 plants in their yard, we're hoping that all these persons can come together and share part.
Nice.
Because, you know, we had some difficulties, especially with the corona, with the pandemic that we have going on, opening a lot of our eyes to food and ensuring the security of food for our people.
Definitely.
So a number of persons really came on and they said, listen, yourself with me, before I retired actually from the Department of Agriculture, I actually played that role in community food security.
Okay.
And a number of persons wanted to be a part of a movement. And they were the ones who actually reached out to me and said, let's form a group.
Okay.
So that we could look towards ensuring food security, because we did not want this issue in terms of another pandemic to hit.
Yes.
And they are not prepared. So they wanted to learn about starting their own farm, starting their own backyard garden. So we had a series of workshops at the Department of Agriculture for them to show you how you can actually start your little backyard garden. From 1-2 plants up to 3 square feet.
Yes.
Up to 2,500 for 10,000 square feet.
Wow.
In terms of farming.
Of course.
We had some persons actually started planting very small, and they fell in love with it so much that they're now asking for land to do big farming.
Beautiful thing. That's
so
nice.
It's all about a passion and love
Yes.
for agriculture. That's what we're trying to push.
Nice. Well, I guess once they see where they can feed themselves and make some money, that also drive them to have a bit more interest at the same time.
Because you must understand that agriculture, you're doing any kind of business.
Yes.
Some persons start off with their leisure time.
Exactly.
But understand that you have surplus.
Yes.
And one of the things that we are trying to push also, even though you're doing a little backyard garden, you may always plant more than the house requires.
True.
And the excess you can always use and sell to generate a little income.
Definitely.
To offset some of your bills in your home. Like to pay a water bill, to help with the groceries, help with electricity, etc. And it's about also getting the family involved.
Nice.
Spending some family time. You know, as the world is developing and social media, you realize family are not spending as much time as they used to once upon a time.
All you want is family table, but you're on your phone talking on the phone, sending texts here and there in the bedroom and all something. Not your phone. You're talking on the phone. Well, that's what happened in these times here, right?
Okay. I said again that I'm having some difficulty in hearing.
So what are you saying?
No, I was just saying, I mean, when they sit on the table, everybody on the phone, they're talking on the phone and sending the WhatsApp and the messages to the phone instead of opening them out and actually speaking to each other. That's the kind of age we're in right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And we want to get away from that. We want to get persons really and truly engaged, involved. And even though, you know, sometimes some persons would say that I have a lot of friends.
Yes.
But then in person, they don't have.
True.
They have 5,000 friends on Facebook.
I like
but
that.
in reality, you have 2-3 friends that you can actually go and speak with.
True. That is very
true. We are becoming so segregated, but yet we believe that we are so connected.
Nice.
And we are saying this in terms of backyard garden, in terms of getting persons, the family, the neighborhood, bringing the neighborhood back. Once you walk past your neighbor's yard and somebody looking inside, you reach home, you don't know who. The neighbor is actually looking out for you because you might give the neighbor a little tomato, a little extra sweet pepper.
True.
And, you know, build a friendship.
Definitely, that community effort.
Build a camaraderie. That's what we want to get back to.
Nice. But Versatile, you can hear me, right? Versatile. Yes, I know you have your own business, and is one thing people are looking for is for seed. So, you have a business where you provide seeds. So how can people get in contact with you for a backyard garden or commercial farming to get in contact with your business if they want any seeds? Since that is always a big deal.
I do a little business apart. As I told you before, I retired from agriculture.
Yes.
I'm now selling seeds.
Yes.
It's a starter kit that I sell with all sorts of vegetable seeds. You can call me at 664-6666. If for everybody in Nevis who wants seed, you can always call me. We can arrange. You can go to National Bank. You can send the funds to National Bank, and we will send it up on the boat.
Beautiful.
So you don't actually have to come to St. Kitts to get your seed.
Okay,
I will provide that actual service for you. You just pay the boat fee of $5.
Yes.
And we take care of everything else.
Well,
Go
ahead.
As I said before, the whole idea is to get persons interested in being a part of a group, the Backyard Garden Association.
Yes.
Not so much association, but the group to move agriculture go forward. I think Valerie, who's there right now, she will actually tell you all when we're having our next meeting in Nevis, and everybody we're encouraging to come out and see. Give it a test, give it a try.
All right, beautiful. Well, Versal, I mean, I'm gonna let you go. I mean, you just get in the house off the road. So I just said, let me give my good friend a good call, put him on the spot. I mean, let the general public know. I mean, what the initiative is all about, and I greatly appreciate it. And definitely will get in contact with you and hopefully get you over here in the studio with us, and we have a good chit chat as usual. And I'm very proud of what you're doing here. I didn't know St. Kitts have a backyard garden association. I know it's moving over to Nevis, and so that can be farmed also. It's a beautiful thing. It's about time we get these things farmed, and I'm glad to hear that. So keep up the good works, and I'll get in contact with you. All right?
Indeed, I appreciate your calling us, sir.
All right, definitely.
Remember, everything started with one step.
Definitely, man. You'll be good.
Y'all have a wonderful night.
All right, you too. Bye.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Yes. So that was my good friend, my co-worker on the other side. I mean, he's retired now. And Versa is one of those persons who are very serious about agriculture, very, very compassionate and aggressive in what he does. So I'm glad he's retired now, have his own business, and doing good. I mean, he take part in the agricultural AgroFest that was what went there, in March, last month there, and was always good seeing Versatile. So his telephone number is 664-6666. So anyone who want to get, those backyard combo kit, get in contact with Versatiles, and definitely, as I said, you don't even have to go over to St. Kitts. He'll give you all the contact information. You put it on the National Bank account, and he'll send it over on the boat. All you just got to pay the little extra $5 for the boat fee, and it'll be good. So the telephone number is 664-6666. I think that's an easy number to remember right there. You understand? So much good looking out for Versatile, definitely. So, gentlemen, 2 hours gone already. Did we realize that? So, Sam, I'll give you your final words. I must commend you, for being here. Greatly appreciate, all of you guys coming out and being a part of the show. And definitely looking forward for you guys coming back again and to show the progress, how the next couple of months down the road. The studio is always open for you guys to come in and give you all expertise, because right now you all are experts. Well, it's a beautiful thing, you all make my work easier. So which we have more people to share knowledge, and in case I can't make it, when you guys can jump in the hot seat with X-Ray and be a good host, I hope chilling listening to you guys. Make my work easier. You understand? So Sam, the mic is yours. Any closing remarks?
Yes, good night to everyone, and it was nice being here discussing agriculture, especially backyard garden and importance, and what we can do for ourselves and our families, even neighbors, and also the market that we could expand on as we look towards improving our lifestyle in our backyards, the comfort of our homes.
Yes.
So I would like to tell everyone to get involved. And even for the meeting that is planned on the 22nd of April, to be there at agriculture at 5 o'clock. So we can sit down and discuss and plan and organize how we could get ourselves on track to meet the times that we're living in today.
Some sound advice? Mol?
Yeah, good night, everyone. It's a
with
pleasure.
that Bible next to you right there, you're hugging tight. Mol, I got a lock bar. What kind of lock on that there? The real dead boy.
Good night, everybody. It's a pleasure. It was a pleasure being here. Like I say, there's no place is too small to plant.
True.
And our teachers say, the best feeling you could get
Yes.
is go outside and pick something that you know.
Definitely.
You grow, and then you go to your table.
True.
And to in your pot, to your table, and in your mouth.
Can't
There's
beat
no better
that.
feeling. You can't beat that.
You know your food is safe, right?
Safe as a...
That's the rule of science.
Okay. Safe as it can be.
Ain't nobody can tell your food is safe if you go it yourself, you know.
Go it yourself.
All right? And we ask that, and I keep it simple as that.
Yeah.
Can I think about when you go and purchase stuff from somebody else? Is this grown here? Yeah, I grow it. And they line to you, you know.
Yeah.
The stuff come off the boat, you know. Some of them go to Rams and buy stuff in the back of the supermarket, in the wholesale place, put it on the table, and they're selling you the same stuff from the back of Rams, you know.
Yeah.
You think they go here in Nevis, you know. But it is what you want to hear. Okay, but tell you get from the back of Rams, you say, well, beginning of many things, ain't it? That's the whole point.
But you know.
Yes.
That's the best feeling, to know that you go outside, pick it.
That's it.
In your pot, in the table, on your table, into your mouth.
You nurture it from a seed, just a seed. It's
too.
amazing, you know.
Yeah.
And a time seed, something like you need a magnifying glass because they're so small.
Yeah.
And once, but they have to be a creator. Such small, fine. You saw a time seed look X-ray? You ever see a time seed?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
One of these.
I never seen it.
I have never seen it. I've never
Yeah,
seen
man.
Never seen it.
Like those, very, very, very small.
From plant. Yeah.
Yes.
They're very, very small.
Very small. You got to. When you show
Some like the cows, them.
Smaller.
I never seen it. I never seen
Very,
it.
very small. Yes.
carrots.
Yes. But I just said that. Of course, carrot. Lettuce. If you leave this in the earth for long, you're gonna bolt in and choke seeds. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I know that one.
Same with the cabbage. They'll choke seeds, and then you get back to plant same way.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So I just said that to say something that small. What things in that they so? Just and then it start bloom. It's a beautiful thing.
Some people got some ones.
Yes. So Miss Thompson,
Yes, sir.
are you the teacher? And the teacher, you're marking. Are you deciding if you pass?
No, I'm not marking. The days of teaching finished.
Well, you don't pass it. Well,
the farming
I'm
is the gardening is the.
So I'm the teacher then. Will I pass? I get A.
Yes, Kenneth and Sam, they're doing a good thing.
You too. Don't exclude yourself. You're doing a beautiful thing too.
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to encourage people.
Definitely.
It is not easy work, and as my cousin tend to tell me, patience, Val. Patience.
Of course.
Oh, it's a lesson in patience.
Yes, because you're gonna plant a seed and you harvest tomorrow, you know.
What I find that when you plant, you realize what a wonderful God we have.
Mm-hmm. That's what I just said.
And the wonderful things that you and God can get accomplished.
Of course.
So at the end of a day, sometimes I just sit on my deck and I look down at my garden, whatever direction I'm looking in, and I just thank God for what He is allowing me to do.
Yes.
Creating beauty.
Nice.
Creating beauty, providing food for myself, and food that I can give away.
Definitely.
You know? It's, as you just said, it's a beautiful thing.
Of course. And that's what everything agriculture is about. It's a beautiful, because remember,
a beautiful thing.
When you look back where nothing was in your yard, if you see the before
nothing was there, man.
and the after,
Nothing
you want to, what the hell happened here? Well, how this happened? But it just take time, and you improve and you add. Because somebody say, buy more miracle you want. It ain't going to happen overnight.
No.
Yes.
Money and time. Money and time.
And you got to have the time to put in.
Yeah.
You know, it's like today I was talking with a young fella and said, why? I want to do some farming. I said, you got time? Yeah, man, I got time. I said, you sure you got time? But how long you going to have time for? Because it's not about just get the excitement, you know. It's all about if you're in for the long haul.
It's a commitment, yeah.
You see what I mean? It's the long haul. And my thing is, once you find a way, a niche, and realize you can make some money out of it at the same time, you can feed yourself. And the more you give, the more you're going to receive.
Yeah.
I always encourage to give. And those people who give, they'll also be your customers, and they'll also give recommendation. You understand? The people will support you. Because Look at these bountiful lettuce here. you see what I mean? Just imagine we have 60,000 of these.
You know what I mean?
Heading out in a 20-foot container.
Going places, Organic.
You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
You cannot go wrong.
That's why we need to come together and farm.
Instead of bringing these
Iceberg.
It is iceberg, but bringing this grade D or grade Z.
The lettuce name from
grade Z food. Grade Z.
Oh my God.
Grade Z. They're at the bottom. Not the grade D. Z. They ain't no good. That's the kind of food coming into a country, and you only benefiting one people. You understand? The big businesses benefiting off of it.
We're buying it.
Yeah, because we have been conditioned to hate the earth because we have a little money in our pocket. So we just, as Sam said earlier, this is something back in the days every household had a garden. Nothing wrong in whether your profession is. Nothing is wrong with that because
you gotta eat.
The food you grow in your let me tell you something before we leave. And there was a lady here, Sharon Jones for ICA. We did the workshop.
She came to my yard too.
Exactly. And she said in the right next to me, and she said, "Oh boy," because she's from Trinidad, right? You're here, and she was saying, "We never see such a soil type like we have here. In no way have soil like us." And I work and I mean, the soil project with the Taiwanese and with the Morocco work on them. In no way have soil type like us. She talk about Trinidad. You can't even people in Guyana. There's something special about us. The evidence been there because next week we keep shifting. The show we're supposed to have is about Mr. Leonard Stapleton, a historian. We speak about our places and memories how we end up here. Cause I remember we never been here. We are we're the children of the enslaved. You understand what I mean? So it's all about we bought it for agricultural purpose, and our people work and we don't get paid. We've been exploited, but now we get paid. Cause you're working for yourself. So why not be the business owners? And that is what I'm encouraging people to do. Do not look at because nobody go to cotton than America, Oh, Miss me going to work on cotton field and I get paid. So of course I understand that. But I would go cotton the whole big like a Nevis because a bale of cotton gonna cost over $15,000 US dollars. You see, those how much big business cotton is. Same thing with sugar cane. Same with avocados. Grenada alone just export soursop alone. That's all they export, soursop to the US. Hundreds of thousands of dollars annually. We in Nevis and Federation of St. we got to do a better job. Definitely got to do a better job. And we got to invest in agriculture. We cannot just keep speaking about tourism. Can't put all the egg in one basket. Because nothing going to do and tourism now will come back.
I don't say that, Bank. My brother was telling me, right? That when they did the thing in slavery time, right?
Yes.
Nevis produced the best yield per acre.
Everything. Yeah. The evidence is there. When everybody has produced 1 ton or 2 ton, we produce megatons, man. We tonnage way up more than them one.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
The sugar content, I think sugar content in the cane was
much higher. Yeah. Because everything boiled is just like X-ray eat white bread. That's all they eat. But then you eat sweet potato. He getting single carbs, you're getting complex carbs. You understand? You're getting all the different nutrients and amino acids from the sweet potato. Makes you feel good with the lighty food, not getting energy, But you own up and down a dark and something. Because it's all about the nutrients. Because remember, you're just eating that food to extract that nutrients, Because eating the nutrients you want, from when that dissolve and go through your blood, everybody absorb the nutrients. And that give it that energy. So the soil type have a big difference of the quality of food. Very important. If the soil don't have nothing, you're not getting nothing from it. And the food gonna have less nutrient, it will be less nutritious. Very important. So I know people gonna come here and start take up with soil and ship it out. It's a serious thing. We were blessed. I always tell myself, all those who born in the Federation of St. and Nevis are special people. And we take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to end the show where Jesus was born here. You understand? I want to hope that alone supposed to tell you, you understand? We are special people and we really got to do more and appreciate where we're at and not just take things for granted. Okay, if you look around us, you see that mountain is smack in the center. Smack in the center. and we don't flood. A lot of places flood all the time, and we always green. And we can walk around, pick mango, pick kinip, and we take it for sugar apple. Everything is right there. Can't hunger, Nevis. No. Sometimes you overseas and you're vexed, you just shoot. You will want to see something you wake up pick. You can't pick nothing. No. You understand? You just can't pick nothing. Sometimes we're here playing cricket with mango, or mango and that dog. It's just a shame. But again, guys, I mean, it's been a beautiful thing. I mean, it was wonderful. I mean, here talking to you guys and sharing the information. And I mean, I know once anyone tune in, it definitely is a learning experience. I just want to encourage you guys, I mean, to start, if you're in start planting, just plant one thing. One seed, make a big difference. Okay, so until next week, we're going to have Mr. Leonard Stapleton. Hopefully, I mean, we can get him in the studio and we have some discussion from way back from Africa to the Caribbean, why you were about here, and so why so, and you look around and we see all the monuments, I mean, the different churches and Brimstone Hill. Very, very skilled people have been brought here, and it shows that our ancestors, even though they didn't get paid, they did they must say, you know what, they beat the drum. Yeah, man, we're going to build them. When we're done with them, we're going to leave some monument for next generation to see what we have done. They never forget, and that is what happened. Still a testimony that I mean, who was brought here didn't have no sense. Okay? Those who were brought before us didn't make it. We were the last guy. Others who come before us get paid. We'd never get paid and get a chance to go back home. But what? We now move from here, because this is Africa for us too. So, and I will end with that. So until next week, goodbye. Everything agriculture.
2020 Vision Radio,
your 24-hour companion.
I'm here saying for myself represent for the Nevis Everything Agriculture Show. Big up Bankie, DJ X-Way, you know. So tune in, and if you're on the internet, zoom in. One love. From the Nevis Everything Agriculture Show. Listen to the man. Ain't no place like home. Me no know about you. Our farmers and fishermen are our unsung heroes. It's time we honor them in our calypsos. We take them for granted, their sterling contribution. So I come to give them their due recognition. To these ordinary heroes, to them I must tip me hat. Not those who suck in the country and living off the fat. From sun up till sundown, they keep working tirelessly, building this land from the bottom up for the great love of their country.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time.